Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next session. And the wind at our back, the sun against the water, and us against the lakes. Rise, men, and take your places at the stern to the bow. Anchors away and off we sail. The four former Lobotomy Corporation department heads recovered from a stressful journey with a rare day off at the beach, and having procured a boat from the little siblings they befriended, now take to the Great Lake. Kai had a chance to reconcile with a close friend from his past. Miix met an old man, unbeknownst to them, a maestro of the ring, and Pryor rallied a group of little siblings to build a life-size sandcastle, roping Merru into defending it with him. L Corp's lakes hold danger around every turn, almost as much danger as the syndicates that man their ports do. With pirates on the water and mermaids underneath, it'll take all they have to survive the dangers of the district, where the taboos forbid listing the taboos. Merru, Miix, Pryor, and Kai must work together to make their way past choppy waters and towards their goal, a golden bow in the possession of a big brother, one who trained under Pryor himself. Now as the four prepare to set sail, what final preparations do they make? And let's begin with Miix.
That is a great question. Hello, everybody. I'm Miix. I am just a little Storm Dragon VTuber, and I play Miix. And Miix right now, well, geez Louise, I think they are just grabbing their essentials, the things they need, the tablet, and things like that, bits and bobs, some makeup, obviously, because that's necessary, despite what certain managers might think, and then they're ready to freshen up. It's being at sea is not something that's new to them, funnily enough. But they are ready and willing to get going. And yeah, they are a little under the weather, much like me, so if they sound a little stuffy, I apologize. But yeah, that is Miix.
And next up, Merru.
Yes, hello. I'm Merru Online, and I play our lovely control team department head, Merru. And he, right now, is not scared about going on a boat. Not at all. He's not been forcing himself to not think about all of that. But he has, however, been packing up all of their strictly put together rations for the trip, along, with his own necessities. While he actually is filling Kai in on what went down, with the whole sandcastle and the beach fight that Pryor and the little siblings had roped him into. And it turns out, unsurprisingly, that when you let a nervous Merru talk, he will talk for a while. So Kai's pretty much gotten all the info, save for the serious stuff that Pryor had spoken to him about in the evening. He tries to speak kind of coolly about everything, not like too much emotion, but it's kind of clear that he gets just a little excited when he talks about the beach fight. He can't keep that in. But besides that, he's pretty fine, actually, as long as he, doesn't think too much about how he's about to go out onto a vessel floating on a bunch of dangerously deep water when he cannot swim. He's fine. So yeah, that's him.
And next up, we have Pryor.
Absolutely. Pryor is doing what he does best, planning for every contingency. His shoulders are weighed down. He's learned exactly what he's walking into. And it's very funny that on a path to avoid one's history, one often walks straight into it. Birgh is someone he knows very, very well. And he's trying to distract himself from that with the more pressing knowledge that there is a long and dangerous boat trip ahead of them. Procuring a boat was a good first step. The second step is getting to their destination without dying. In U Corp, the journey is far, far, far often more dangerous than the destination. In this case, that might actually not be true.
And we shall see if it is. Which leads us to Kai, our final member of the managers.
Hi, I'm Kai Calypso, playing the safety team, department head Kai. Kai is doing better than he's felt in a while, like pre-campaign a while. The weight is off his shoulders. His relationships with the other managers finally feel defined, and a good part of his past feels reconciled now that he's ran into some old friends, especially Precious. Kai quickly grabs a few necessities, but I think he probably forgets some stuff because he's been staring slack-jawed at Merru with, like, progressive eyebrow raising the entire time that he's talked about the beach fight that he was just in, while Kai was, like, having conversations with people that were very normal. But he's really happy to see Merru so excited about something. Kai only really has a glimpse of what is ahead, based on what he's being told, rather than having, I guess, been in the thick of things like he typically is. But he has faith in the managers around him that whatever they face, that they'll get out of it fine, like they typically do.
And we'll see if this time they're able to. As you all finish up your final preparations, is there anything any of you would like to do first before heading out? You all know you're going to be leaving the RV behind for this time, which will also mean that Yuna and the tearful thing will be inaccessible while you're gone.
Absolutely. Pryor is going to try and do his final rounds, make sure that he has secured everything. He hasn't left any ego gifts lying around. Everything is in his containment unit. And of course, he is going to make sure he checks in on the tearful thing, make sure that their restraints are in place, that there are no structural damages or structural flaws, and then, of course, do a check-in with Yuna to make sure that Yuna has everything they need before he makes his leave.
Absolutely. Everything looks to be in shape as you're checking it. And if you go up to check in on Yuna, gonna move everyone over here. You will find that they're with the tearful thing. It looks like they're collecting some of the tears and handling that at the moment.
Well, restraints are good. Problems are handled. The bathroom's fixed up. Engines all well and good, and everything with your resort and accommodations has been handled. I don't think there's anything else I can do for you, Yuna, unless something comes to your mind.
Thanks, Pryor. Well, first, here. Yuna reaches into, like, a little container besides them and hands it over to you and says, there's, 8 ampules in there. I was able to make them while we were traveling to hear from J Corp. I don't know if I'll be able to get you any more while you're out on the sea. So, Yuna kind of shrugged, like...
Yeah, Prior counts up the ampules, and fully understands that these are most likely the last of the ampules he's going to see for a while. Checking that they're all good, he is going to put them in his containment unit and smile. You're always looking out for our best interests, Yuna. I appreciate it. It's going to be almost impossible for you to navigate the waves without knowledge of the taboos. So, this is the last you'll see of us for a while, and permitted that the weather is good, we should be at least able to get a communication back to you when we reach the port.
That's, yeah, no, that'd be appreciated if you're able to check in. Don't die out there.
Well, there goes my plans, but I suppose I'll think up a new one.
Yuna just kind of does not look at Prior, but you can see the little, like, twitch of their eye under the bang covering it.
We'll be fine. Everything will be fine. You've done everything you can to prepare us, and we're deeply appreciative of your assistance. Keep an eye on the tearful thing. Keep an eye on the RV, and we'll be back for you once we have the golden bow.
I'll hold you to that. Yuna looks hesitant and then just kind of shrinks in on themselves a bit as they say, Prior, is Miix, is boss, all right?
Prior puts his hands on his hips, and there's something deeply familiar about the way Yuna's behaving. Or maybe it's more fair to say there's something deeply familiar about the way Prior feels about the way Yuna is behaving. And there's this exhaustion that comes over him, but it's more than just an exhaustion. It's this familiarity, like a nostalgic blanket. And this RV suddenly feels like the walls of the facility. Now, I haven't seen anything that made me think they weren't, but I don't spend as much time around them as you do. Is everything all right, Yuna? Did something happen?
I'm just worried, is all. Boss is upset about how I treated Merru, and didn't want me to embarrass them like that again.
Well, firstly, Yuna, we all do make mistakes. Trust me, I know that more than anyone else in this RV. I admit I've not been able to pay a lot of attention to Miix. Manager Miix is an enigma to me in many regards. I want to see them at their best. And if you're concerned that they might not be doing that, it might be something I should talk to them about, privately, of course. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I promise I will sort this out with them. If they... You and I both understand that when you hold your feelings inside of you for too long, they can rupture in deeply, deeply consequential ways.
Yeah. No, they,
So? You've done a good thing, Yuna. Trusting me was the right decision. I'll make sure that Miix is taken care of. And know that no one is blaming you, and no one... Well, Prior stops for a minute and says...
Yeah, Yuna kind of gives him a look.
Merru is... Merru is like an ice cube. It takes a little bit of friction for him to warm up to you. And he lowers his voice. He can be a tiny bit unpleasant until he gets to that point.
Huh. I really hadn't been meaning to... I didn't mean to insult him like that. Just...
I got the sense if everyone was in better spirits, that could have been resolved without needing to go that far. I think Merru is also under a lot of pressure right now. We all are. We all want to go home. We all want to be out of this place, out of these unfamiliar and violent territories.
Yeah.
I appreciate you acknowledging where you can be better. And I know you're trying your best to do what's right. I'm seeing that, and they'll see it too in time. They just need to resolve the things that are keeping them from seeing your effort because they're too focused on their own right now.
Thanks. Yuna looks kind of flustered. Still isn't really looking at Prior, but just kind of nods their head and just kind of mumbles a thanks, Prior.
Prior. Yeah, Prior claps them twice on the shoulder and says, "It's never a problem. You can always come to me if you ever need someone to talk to. I might not always know what to say, but I always have an ear to listen, especially when people need someone."
Yuna nods at that and says, I'll keep that in mind. I hadn't really had that before. And I'm surprised that you're someone like that, given what I thought I knew of you. But anyway, Yuna kind of goes back to tinkering with the tearful thing, like, turns away from Prior.
I wasn't always like it, Yuna. I wasn't always like it. I used to be a boss. Now I've become a leader. And I'd like to keep trying to be one. So you take care of yourself, all right? And Prior will make his leave without burdening your Yuna with the need to respond.
Yuna lets Prior go, but you can see that there is a bit of a smile on their face as they kind of fiddle with the tearful thing, just checking to see if it's all right. Staring up at it as it blinks back at them. And does anyone else want to say anything to them before you all head off?
I think, Mr. DM, I might be so bold. I think Miix and Yuna have some talking they need to do.
That they do. Would Miix seek out Yuna?
I think for the sake of this conversation, I think they would.
All right. Well, Miix, as everyone's finishing up their preparations, you're able to find them by the tearful thing.
Yeah, Miix walks over to where Yuna is. They sniffle a little. They say, "Yuna,
Miix, you're heading out soon, right?"
yeah, I am."
They kind of blink at them and say, is there anything I can do for you before I made some ampules. Pryor was over here earlier, so I handed them over to him.
Makes pauses. Pryor was here?
Yeah. He was just checking up on things.
Do you guys talk about anything?
Yuna kind of glances away for a moment. Miix, do you want to roll a wits plus insight check?
Sure. What is the difficulty?
The difficulty would be a DC 3.
Sure. I think Miix chooses to trust what Yuna will tell them.
Yuna sort of hesitates. When Yuna looks at you for a moment and glances at you, what does Miix's expression look like?
Oh, I think just like they're expecting Yuna to tell them the truth. You know? It's the sort of thing where they are like, okay, you know, what's not in like an accusatory like, hey, it's more like, you know, okay, so what's up? Sort of thing.
Yuna hesitates and then just says, I'm worried about all of you, you know, going out. I'm worried in particular about you. They kind of look away at that. A bit
You're worried about me?
I just more mean. I'm just worried about how you'll be while you're out there, and
Right.
how things will go, and how you're doing.
Right. So you're worried about me because of that? Do you think I'm not capable of taking care of myself? Are you?
No, I don't mean to imply that, but Miix, I just don't know. I don't know what can happen out there. I know you're not all going to have a way to get communication back easily here. I know you were upset about what happened. Yuna kind of looks away at that, like they're talking too much.
That's kind of a lot of what I hear from you.
Yuna just kind of curls in on themselves a bit at that and says, I know you'll all be fine out there.
Now you know we'll be fine.
Hey.
In Miix's head. Oh, go ahead.
No, Yuna just kind of hesitates. Like they're not sure what to say. And it's kind of clear based on their expression that they feel like everything they're saying is making things worse.
And in Miix's head, they just think to themselves, it's another lesson, you know? To ensure loyalty, you break them down and then build them back up again. And Miix steps closer and puts a hand on Yuna's shoulder. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay.
It is.
Yeah, it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yuna's eye kind of widens at that, and they kind of flush and just say, I'm glad.
Thank you. And Miix cups their cheek with their hand. And
Yuna lets them. Yuna just looks very, very flustered at this.
you be careful too, okay?
I will. I'm pretty sure there's only seagulls here to deal with.
Also, I'm gonna be leaving Pascal with you.
I'll take care of Pascal.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, it's the way we can communicate with you. And besides, I don't think he'll be of much use to us out there.
It's probably for the safest to leave Pascal here. Yuna kind of looks up as Pascal kind of buzzes above both of your heads, having heard his name.
All right. Well then. Guess it's should probably head out now.
Be safe.
You too.
I will.
Yeah?
No, I just... I'll be here, Yuna says, instead of saying I'll miss you as they turn around and busy themselves with Pascal, who just keeps flying out of their reach. Like, get back here.
Gotcha. Alright then. And Miix turns and walks away, and their face is just grim. They are not having a good time. Yeah, that's that.
And Miix, as you start to walk away, Pascal follows after you, beeps a little bit, hovers around, and then flies off upside down after Yuna.
Blush.
And managers, are you all ready to head out onto the boat?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That is a
sir.
strong word.
Yes,
Well-
sir, I think we are.
Regardless of if you're ready or not,
The gang is killed.
all
The game
of you...
immediately explodes.
Oh my gosh. All of you head out onto the docks. And there you find the boat the little siblings gifted you. It's a nice looking, fairly large ship. And you can see gold chains wrapped around the mast, designating it as belonging to the middle. There are some balloons tied to the ship, as if someone was having a party before. And the boat rocks ever so slightly with the waves as you board.
All right. Uh, oof. As Pryor gets aboard the boat, he pulls back memories, really old memories. And as soon as he can feel that the ground isn't quite ground beneath his feet, it is both beautifully nostalgic and deeply, deeply upsetting. All right, everyone. We're no longer on solid land, so if anyone's forgotten anything, now is your last chance to remember. No? All right, landlubbers. Pryor heads over towards the captain's quarters, and dusting off a hat on the counter, he places it over his head, adjusting the cap as he leans against the doorway, looking at everyone else. Well, I suppose now is the time for the real mission brief. There are two things you all need to know before we set out. One, the laws of the lake. I could tell you all of them, and you would be sitting here for a day to get the short version. The more important thing you have to learn is that these waters are unpredictable. This isn't a pool, this isn't a pond. The water here is claimed by beasts and creatures. Calamities that sink below the surface. To avoid them and a watery grave, we must follow a set of rules. I know you're used to me being a hard ass, but I need you all to understand. I am going to tell you to do ridiculous, nonsensical, seemingly backwards things. And you all need to do them when I tell you, in the exact way I tell you do them. This is not because I am on a power trip. This is because the failure to do them will result in not just yours, but all of our collective deaths.
I think everyone's still just staring at you, waiting for you to... Is there like a rundown of like the basics at the least?
Absolutely. The lake is divided into zones or areas. If you were to look at it from above, it would seem like a patchwork. The water looks blue to you now, and as long as it remains that way, we should mostly be in the clear. When the water changes color, it's already a sign that it's too late. Listen to my voice. If you see something in the water, do not call to it. If it calls to you, do not listen to it. If you listen to it, do not feed it. Not part of your flesh, nor part of your mind. If you feel something crawling under your skin, do not acknowledge it. If you hear people you love carried by the winds, they are not there. Tie yourself to the mast if you feel the urge to swim overtake you. And no matter what, do not, ever, ever stop this boat. Time is our only enemy out on the lake. And if we get into a scuffle with it, it is one we are surely going to lose.
Well,
Good.
thank you for the pep talk.
I promise you, I will give you many pep talks as we're out on the water. If anything does happen, I'm going to need to be manning the helm of the boat. So if you get into a fight, or if anything boards the ship, don't count on me being able to help you all. Trust me when I say that keeping us on track is going to be the most I can do to help you all. Secondly, though, is our destination. Big Brother Birgh. I know you knew him by a different name, Kai. He was one of my disciples. A little brother serving under me in W Corp. In the Backstreets, I mean, of the district. He was exceptionally talented for a street rat. When I brought him in, he had nothing. No family, no on, no hope. Forced to troll through bodies in the backstreet to try and scavenge together enough to eat. His talents flourished under my guidance, under my exceptionally cruel and shaping hands. He is dangerous. He is experienced. And he is foolhardy. But more than anything, I am not surprised he is a big brother now, because he was vengeful above all else. More so than even the others, and let me tell you, once your name goes into a book of vengeance, they and every other member of the Middle will pursue you to the ends of the city.
That
Which
sucks.
is why... No. It does. It does, Manager Miix. It very much sucks. We will have to be very careful that one way or another we deal with Birgh in a way that does not get our name in that book, or if our name does go into that book, the knowledge of our names being there never leaves that boat.
I mean, if you two used to be, like, you know, on the same side, I'm kind of assuming that you can, like, sweet talk them.
It was never our relationship, but that is the plan, yes. He does not know that I am not the man I once was anymore. Playing to that, I should be able to give us a chance to scope out the situation. If we're lucky, we can be in and out before he even knows what's happened. Deniability will be our best weapon. And maybe there is a peaceful solution. Even though I've never known Birgh to be one for peace.
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer the peaceful solution. I don't really have an interest in fighting a big old syndicate, I think that would suck for us overall. I don't have confidence that we can defeat a giant organization.
Taking on a big brother would be a challenging task. Taking on a big brother surrounded by his subordinates would be nearly impossible.
Yeah.
I agree. Taking on all of the Middle would be a death sentence.
Yeah.
Well, regardless... Birgh knows me. And before we
That's
set
good.
sail, Yes, well, that's actually not quite good, but
That's bad.
Birgh knows me. He knows my past. He knows my story. He knows the things I am shamed. And shame I have not shared with you. I hope you all know that I am the man I am today because I choose to be that. And I am no longer the man Birgh knew.
Gotcha.
You will hear things about me, I am sure. I beg your mercy, all of you, that you remember I am not Big Brother Pryor anymore.
Genuine question. Would you just want to tell us that stuff now? I feel like if we learn about it in the heat of the moment, it's going to end up worse. If you don't want to tell us at this instant, it's fine. I'm just saying, overall, if the way we get out of this is communicating, then you probably want to tell us sooner or later. It would be best for us to hear from you before we hear it from that jerk.
You're very correct. That would be better. If I were a stronger man, the words would come out.
Okay. I believe you. I believe you. I'm just,
I know. It's not my preference, but... well...
we all got our skeletons in the closet.
Yes. Yes, we do. We set sail in 5, and Pryor opens the door and slams it behind him as he walks into the captain's, booth.
I think that was a little loud, personally. Miix turns to the two, like, hey, you guys okay?
Yeah, I don't know all of the specifics that will come up, but I don't know. I feel that everyone here understands the person that Pryor used to be well enough that if anything is to be said, that you two would understand that that's not him now? I hope.
I think Merru at that point, he's been pretty quiet, kind of like holding on to like the side of the boat to steady himself because he's not used to the rocking. And he just goes, I already told Mr. Pryor what I think about everything. So you don't have to worry about me. I've reassured him that I will be fine with what happens.
Will you be
Odd
okay,
one
man?
out. Odd one out again. Well, I can't promise that I'm gonna, depending on what happens.
What do you mean by that?
I can't say I'll be happy no matter what comes out. But
It's not about being happy.
I just need you to trust that the people that we will be with are not morally superior to even the man that Pryor was.
I can tell you that I think we're all pretty bad people.
Thanks, Miix.
And
Okay.
I don't think anything that is said will be the death knell to us working together. That's what I can tell you.
I think that's all I can ask.
Like, I'm not under any illusion that we are good people. it is what it is. But, you know, there's not much room for debate no matter what. We're kind of stuck in the middle of the ocean with our thoughts. So, guess let's try and enjoy ourselves while we're here, I suppose.
We're not in the middle of the ocean yet, but like, sure.
We're in a lake.
No, it's fine. He's right. We're not in the middle of the ocean yet.
Figure of speech, I get it.
It's fun.
There's a loud horn followed by a bell. And Pryor's voice crackles out of a speaker, and you can see him behind the window. He's got a radio up to his mouth, and he says, "All right, crew. I'm gonna let you know I'm seeing clear, bright skies above, clouds in the distance, and choppy waters dead ahead. I would recommend all of you to prepare yourselves, and if you're thinking you might get a little sick, to sit down."
That's good advice. Have either of you been at sea before?
What do you think?
You have or haven't? Sorry.
No. Of course I
Merru
haven't.
seems a little unsure on his feet.
Wow.
Do you need
Hey.
someone there while you're you look a bit green while you're handling your seasickness? Or would you rather I leave you alone?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm I'm going to sit down.
My advice for you, just drink a lot of water. Do not eat too much food.
Well, good to know I already don't do that, so thanks.
Focus on the horizon. Like, if you stare at the horizon, it actually does help because it kind of stabilizes you a bit.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit down now.
That's...
Ding!
Nope. You can't win them all, I guess. Alright.
The boat begins to pull out of the dock. And you all set sail out onto the lake. Merru, you went to sit down. I don't know if you took any of the advice Miix tried to give you.
I mean,
But-
he didn't eat much.
He didn't eat much. As you all head out on the lakes, you can feel yourself getting and feeling seasick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How's he doing?
Yeah. Merru's dying. Like he genuinely feels like he's dying, like just a little bit at some point. Because again, this is his first time on a boat, and it started with his head spinning. And each time the boat rocks back and forth, he feels like a wave of nausea and unease kind of over him. And normally people would just feel like a bit ill and have to sit down and all that stuff. But for Merru, it's a little bit of a different story. His augmented prosthetics, they've always been a bit of a double-edged sword for him, because they are the reason he has his heightened senses. That's kind of the point of the augments, especially the horns on top of his head. They allow him to notice things much more easily than most. But they also heighten his senses, including his feelings of pain and sickness. So his head is spinning, his prosthetic eye is glitching out pretty bad by now. He's not sure if he's going to hurl up the little food he's actually had today, or if his soul is simply going to leave his body and float away. He's gotten to the point where he's had to lay down on the floorboards of the boat, and his vision kind of blurs and doubles a bit as he reaches like a shaky arm out to no one in particular, because there is no one around him because he wanted to be alone. And then it falls limp. he gives up on trying to lift himself to his feet. He just resigns himself to his fate as a magic bullet. His rifle feels heavier on his back than ever before. All he can do, I suppose, is hope that he starts feeling better soon. I mean, maybe after they've spent more time on the water, then his augments will adjust and he can at least deal with the seasickness. But for now, he's it's a bit rough.
Merru, as you're suffering, a seagull lands nearby and just kind of looks at you and just kind of goes like lets out like one of those like.
Oh. The sound is very sharp in his ears, sharper than usual. And he squints his eyes shut and shakily puts a hand over one of his ears because he can't even swat the thing away. So he just tries to block out the noise.
It keeps making noise for a bit,
Great.
Circling around and hopping around.
That's great. Merru suffers.
And as Merru's suffering, Miix. What is Miix up to?
Oh, Miix is living at large. Miix actually is like sat reclined in one of the chairs, just like flipping through a book and like half reading, half looking at Merru. They're like, man, I'm really impressed that Merru's this seasick and we've only been at sea for 2 minutes. No, I'm kidding. But they've been out for longer than that. But yeah, they kind of like stare, and like every now and then they think like, okay, maybe I should help. But then again, he hasn't followed any of my advice from before, so like, you know, like I mean, like, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, like, you know, it's fine. You can deal with it the hard way. And so Miix continues reading this fantastic rom-com. It is a swashbuckling adventure out at sea. It's super like dramatic. It's about a tale of these two lady pirates, and it's just really riveting, really good. It makes us really getting into it. They decided to bring this one, felt appropriate. What with, you know, them being out at sea, and so Miix is enjoying themselves. They're just having a good time. You know, they had to take a drink of water. They make sure to stay hydrated for sure. You know, eat lately, mainly making drinking water, having a good time. You know, the calming sounds of the seagulls really get them like in the zone. You know, the seagulls aren't nearly as close to them, and so they're like, yeah, this is nice. You know, the waves, the seagulls. You know, it's overall, it's nice. You know, and they got some entertainment. They'll look to the left and see Merru like, ugh, and they'll be like, and then they'll go back to their book. Overall, very, very nice time. Very nice time they're having so far.
I'm glad to know Miix is having a nice time. The seagulls are also not at all bothering you. They see you have your book and they're just harassing poor Merru on the ground over there. And as you're able to live at large and have a nice time out on the sea, Kai, what are you up to?
Kai is not very close to Miix and Merru. Like, I don't know how big exactly this boat is. In my mind, it's relatively sizable. He's basically on the deck on the opposite side. He's got like a towel laid out. He's sunbathing because he feels like he hasn't gotten enough sun in a while. And as you can see, somehow he has the most melanin out of the group despite being blonde. And, you know, he trusts that Miix is watching Merru because it seemed like they were keeping an eye on him. You know, like they have their book or whatever, but they were, you know, sitting on that chair nearby, and
Oh, they're keeping an eye on him, all right.
and Merru said that he was just going to have a seat, and he trusts him to be a responsible adult that knows how to take care of himself and drink water and look at the horizon, like Miix said, and that Miix is nice enough to Kai. So he wants to trust that they would also be nice enough to Merru and, pat their back while Merru vomited off the side of the boat, or call out to Kai if any medical assistance was needed for some reason. So he's doing great. He's taking a little cat nap. He's probably rolled over once or twice. He's gonna have a really wicked tan line at the end of this, I feel like, but ignoring all that, he's doing nice. He's in the warm sun.
And although for the moment you are sunbathing, overhead clouds start to gather as the sea changes a different color and rain starts to fall down.
Oh.
The moment after it starts, there's a bing, 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 as Pryor hits the alert button and says, "Heavy rain falls for the next 5 minutes. I repeat, if you hear a voice coming from inside of your chest telling you to let it out, do not listen to it. Thank you, and enjoy your sailing."
I sits up and pouts, while his hair flattens to his head and darkens as the water soaks into it. He doesn't look dissimilar to a wet cat, and he'll sigh and get up and step into the shade of an awning. I assume there's gotta be some kind of, indoor-ish area of the boat, and he'll wring out his sleeves onto the wet wood as best he can, and just wait out those 5 minutes.
Merru tries to get up.
You
Immediately feels nauseous.
Oh no,
Falls back
Merru.
down onto his stomach.
Oh my god.
Mix looks, oh no, if only I could help. And
Pryor-
it's just
Pryor
underneath the awning, just having a good
Pri-
time.
Pryor has to turn the boat really suddenly, and Merru goes sliding across the deck.
Oh my god!
Wait, catch him, he's coming to us.
Do you, Kai, Miix, do either of you want to make a DC-free Dex Athletics to catch Merru?
Wait, does Mick shout out loud enough for Kai to hear this? Mix?
They really don't want to, they're sick. I mean, why would they want to, hurt their throat? I feel, no, they will.
Oh my god!
Maybe that
There's no
means
clue
they
that
will.
Meru is slipping around.
They'll be like, Kai, he's coming to us. Catch him.
Okay,
Alright,
fine.
Make me that DC-free Dex Athletics.
Kai will
I
make,
will help.
Kai will make
Yes,
it
you can
roll.
add an extra dice because Miix is helping you.
You'll help? Wow. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting
absolutely.
that. Okay, Dex Athletics. You said DC3.
Yep, DC-free. It's just the DC-free.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Oh, look at
Oh my
that.
gosh!
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Kai's like, why the hell is Meru soaking wet?
With
Oh,
a
God.
5 success crit on a DC free, not only are you both able to catch him as he slides, but you don't, you're basically able to avoid, the water, when you're catching him, you're able to avoid most of the water that splashes up, I imagine, from him, because he's probably soaking wet at this point.
Oh,
Yeah,
we gotta
he's
get him dried up.
He's shivering, his lips are blue.
Here's some towels. Come on.
Why?
And
Why
Miix
does
starts
he look
patting
this
down.
bad?
Well, because he didn't follow any of my advice. And he was just hanging
He was
his head over
rationing
the
our water.
guardrail. You can do
Merru,
it to stare at the
I can't
horizon.
drink extra water. We have
I'm
certain
honestly
directions.
shocked you sound this good right now. You look awful.
Yeah, I feel
You
awful.
really do.
Okay.
Yeah. Next time, at least try to stare at the horizon. You really shouldn't. You really don't want to hang over the guardrail like that. That's actually worse for you.
You know what's worse? If you keep talking.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. All right.
Well, sorry everyone. That was the end of Calm Waters. I know you've just probably got used to them, but it's gonna get choppy from here on out.
Cool. Should probably head
Aye,
inside.
aye, Captain.
Aye.
We should. Yeah, we should head inside.
Let's step inside. Come on.
Kai is.
Oh,
I think,
that is not good. Everyone get inside. Everyone get inside. And there's a
All
bell
right.
that's ringing.
They're rushing inside. Kai is carrying Merru, cradling Merru like a baby. One
The
arm,
rain-
easily. Sorry, continue.
No, the rain has stopped as you all carry Merru inside. The rain has stopped, but you all do notice the lake has turned a different color.
Yeah, Pryor is now gunning the boat as hard as he can push it as you all go inside.
That's not gonna be good for Merru.
That doesn't look good. That doesn't look right. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That does not look right.
The intercom continues to go and say, well, good news, well, the good news is we're ahead of schedule. The bad news is we're ahead of schedule, which meant that I had to readjust my charting slightly so we did not end up in the maws of a giant beast. I haven't seen signs of a calamity, so I think we might have just avoided it. And everything should be... Oh, no. Oh, no. You all hear the sound of the engines cutting.
Oh, Captain, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you said that we should not stop the boat no matter what.
That
And now the
is
boat seems to have
correct.
Stopped.
We are stopping the boat and not moving.
So what's going on? Like,
You might want to take a look outside.
all right.
If the three of them step out, I want Kai to still be carrying Merru if he's not recovered yet.
No, you can. Merru's
Fantastic.
clinging onto Kai.
Awesome.
You all can see the line in the water. There is a line between this lake and the next lake over, you can all see, which is a dark bluish green for a moment. And in the next second, all that remains is blood and tentacles. As these huge black tendrils come up from the lake's surface right before you all. Not in your lake, thankfully. And you see one of the other boats in that lake crushed and dragged down.
Oh.
You know, I feel much less safe all of a sudden.
A prayer for the poor bastards. Well, that's what you get. The lake does not forgive, and it certainly does not forget. We are going to have to stop here for a bit. Get comfortable, everyone. I'll let you know when I start the engine back up.
All right. Well, cool.
And managers, what would you all like to get up to? It's,
You know what?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's, hard, I imagine, to ignore what's going on in the lake right across from you.
Yeah. I think Miix has an idea, because this will help Merru. You know, they feel a little bad. Merru's been suffering, and they want to also help take the mind off of things. So like, hey Merru, how you feeling, buddy?
Do I need to answer?
You look terrible.
Yeah.
I have an idea. A legitimate suggestion. You ever gone
What?
fishing?
No, I've never been to water like this before.
All right. Well, now's as good a time as any. Let's go fishing.
And that... Remember, he was going to deny it, but then he gets the thought of, wait, that's food. And he goes, okay. And he'll kind of like tap Kai's shoulder.
Yeah, Kai will gently place him down on the ground.
Attaboy. All right. Luckily, we have 2 fishing rods for just such an occasion.
Okay. Well, Kai will walk the perimeter of the boat, I guess.
Oh, do you want to join us too? I mean, we
No,
might
no,
have a
it's-
third one back here.
No,
but-
no. No, you two have fun.
Okay. Anyways, Merru, we've got 2 fishing rods. Fishing is easy. I don't even need to tell you how to do it. I'm sure you already know.
I just said I've never gone, so how would I know?
Never
how to
mind.
really do it?
All right, so you get the fishing rod, you cast out your line after you put some bait on the hook, and you just wait until something bites, and then you reel it in.
What's the bait?
Worms.
Okay. That's
All
it?
right. Yep. And we just sit there, staring out the horizon.
Oh, I'm good at sitting and staring at things for hours, so...
Exactly. And this will help you get over your seasickness, and it gives us something to do. You know?
Okay.
All right, now pull up a chair, my horned friend, and let us fish.
Okay.
And would you like to both go fishing?
Sure.
Absolutely. It's nice. It's relaxing.
I don't feel very relaxed.
Well, it's pretty chill. You know, nothing crazy.
Miix, you start to feel something tugging at your fishing rod.
Ooh, I got one. Now, I don't know what kind of fish are in these waters, so this might be really good or really bad. Either way, I need you to be at the ready. Alright, and Miix will start reeling in.
As you start reeling yours in, Merru, you feel your line also start to tug.
Oh, Merru, he kind of perks up a little, and he tries to subtly, like, look to see what Miix is doing, and then kind of copy, to try and reel in his fish.
Absolutely. Can you both roll me a 1d10? Don't worry about it. Just roll me a 1d10, each of you.
Sure thing.
You do that?
You can just do slash roll, like this. Yep,
Huh?
just like that.
What do you mean
One.
slash roll?
Slash
that.
roll space
Like in
1d10.
the little box at the
In the
bottom?
chat, yeah, in the chat box, yeah.
Slash roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Slash
D10.
roll space.
Oh, okay.
D10.
Okay. Oh, wait, I'm doing it wrong. I'm so doing it wrong.
Or yeah.
No worries.
Oh, it didn't work.
No. You have to erase the space between the slash and the roll.
But I did that, and it said it was not right.
Oh, you will do a space between roll and then do 1d10.
Got it.
There we
There
go.
we go. So Miix, you pull up. There's a little crab that's clinging to the end of your line that you happen
Crab's
to
not
fish up.
bad. Nice. Wahoo.
Merru, you fish up. There is a orange fish.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Merru kind of inspects it. He doesn't really know much about fish, but he's definitely sizing it up to see what how they could possibly prepare this later.
It's nice. We got some fish.
They are both still wriggling and alive at the moment. The crab's kind of dangling off of the fishing pole, snapping its little pinchers, and the orange fish is just kind of like wriggling and just like kind of like doing the like thing that fish do. I don't know if they came through the mic, but like the pop with the mouth.
Yeah. All right. Now we toss them into the bucket and we leave them there, and then we keep doing this.
I can see how this is useful.
This is. See, we love fishing.
Not a horrible idea.
Yeah. Well, when have I ever had a bad idea? Don't answer
too.
that. Don't answer that. Crab's okay. It's good eating. You know, better than lobster.
Right. I've never had lobster.
You never had. Well, right. That makes sense.
Yeah. We're not all fancy people.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Do you both throw your rods back in?
Absolutely.
You're both sitting to wait for a bit. And is there anything the two of you discuss as the rods bob in the water?
You know, this is a good bonding exercise, I think. You know, it really gives us time to sit down and chat, figure ourselves out. I think this is good for us, actually.
I don't need to figure myself out.
Figure each other out. You know, we're having a good conversation. We're having a good time. Fishing is nice.
Merru was going to say a mean comment and held himself back and just goes,
You don't agree?
Did I say that?
You said in a condescending way.
I didn't say anything. It was just
You said you did in a condescending way, and I thought that was a little offensive.
How do you know if it's condescending? It's just maybe you're just easily offended.
No, I think you're easily riled up, and
I'm not even riled. You're the one saying you had a problem.
no, I mean it's okay.
complimented
Like
you,
I understand that, like
seconds ago.
that you're like kind of like of that mindset right now, where it's like the whole world against you. I'm just saying,
I
like
don't think that was me exactly.
That's
before.
fair.
I think that may have been you.
No, that was definitely you.
I don't know about that.
Anyways, regardless of that, we're having a great time. We're fishing and we're getting food. You know,
That is
I don't
true.
always have terrible ideas.
That is also true.
Thank you. That's actually very sweet of you.
Thanks.
You know, I think you're finally coming around to me.
Merru,
Oh?
as you go to respond, you feel your line start to tug again.
Right.
Oh,
And you as well, Miix, feel a tug on your line.
wahoo.
Well, we'll reel it in, I guess.
Would you like to both roll me another d10?
Yes. Okay, now I know how to do it.
Ooh. Merru, you fish up. There is this small, almost translucent, jellyfish-like creature
Oh.
that got caught on the hook. And Miix, you fish up this beautiful, pristine fish that seems to almost glimmer its scales.
Well, that's nice. Okay.
Merru side-eyes that fish. His jellyfish seems kind of
I don't
Not
think that's
cool.
for good. I don't think that's good for eating, by the way. You're gonna have to toss that back.
What?
Yeah,
What's the point of it being a thing if you can't eat it?
I don't. I don't think it actually provides a lot of nutritional value.
I mean, it doesn't need to be Can we eat it?
I mean, I think you might get sick.
How sick?
It's I wouldn't look at this beautiful huge fish I got.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I think it will be plenty to feed us. You know, you were looking at my fish earlier. Are you jealous? That's okay. I hope you don't feel inadequate.
No, I'm
you know,
just... No, I didn't say that.
You know, that I have a bigger fish than yours. You know.
I was just simply thinking about how we need to catch more fish so we can have more food. Please don't put words in my mouth.
No, I'm just saying, like, my fish is bigger than yours.
I'm glad you have eyes.
Yeah. You know, I just wanted you to, you know, I you know.
Do I? Do I know?
Yeah. I think my fish is bigger than yours, and I you know, I think that's great.
Are you done?
What's up?
Are you done, like, puffing your
Done
chest?
fishing? No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, it's funny that I got a nice fish.
That's nice.
It is nice, yeah. You should say, like, congratulations. I feel like that'd be polite. You know, I congratulate you when you got your fish.
Congratulations.
You know, I don't really feel the energy or the passion.
Too bad.
I think you should say it with your chest.
No, I don't really.
Yeah, I think you should. I think you
I'm
should.
conserving my energy.
Your energy.
Yes.
Look, it's okay. It's okay. We can't all get the big fish. You know?
What does that mean? Why are we?
Why what?
Why are we arguing? This is fish for all of us to eat.
Alright. We're having a good time.
As you all cast your rods in again, give me just one moment. Miix, you feel a tug on your rod. A very, very heavy pull this time. Unlike what you felt before. As with 238 to 215 votes, Miix, you win catching the big one.
Yay.
You're not able to pull this up alone. As you start to struggle against the pull, and it seems like it's about to pull you into the water, actually.
Merru, I am way too fucking sick for this. I need you to let go of your fucking rod and grab my rod right now with both of your hands. Grab my rod.
Merru will begrudgingly do so, but he'll say, you know, when I was feeling really sick, stare at me. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't, like, just grab my rod.
I did!
Okay, we need to pull this. Okay, this is really heavy. Fuck.
Do you want to make me a strength athletics roll, Miix, with an extra dice because Merru's helping you?
Sure, what is the difficulty?
It is a DC 3.
Let me do a little willpower on that.
Oh, phew.
We're so back.
Miix. The rod begins to bend more as you both pull it. It feels as if something large is in the other end, pulling it down, threatening to pull you both overboard.
Oh.
And then the creature on the line is fished up. With a loud squelch, a monster emerges from the waves with a long, fishy tail and a large vertical slit mouth running down the length of their head. I will not ask either of you to roll, because neither of you would know what this thing is, as it begins to lash out at once, and both of you can roll me initiative.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Give me one
Oh my
moment.
Merru.
I think when it gets fished up, Merru kind of, from the force of it, stumbles backwards and kind of falls back a little bit, and he goes, "Oh my,
Merru.
what?"
Merru. It's right next to our
Congratulations,
buckets.
Miix.
No, it's right next to our buckets. We have to kill this thing. We have to kill this thing before it knocks our buckets over.
Were you considering not killing it before?
No, I'm just saying we gotta hurry, or else it's gonna hit. The fish is gonna. Oh no! Fuck! Oh, this is bad. We gotta save our food.
If
Miix.
we kill it, then more food.
Think we can eat that thing? I don't think that. Okay, fine. We'll figure that out later. Yes, Mr. DM.
I was gonna say, regardless of if you can eat it, it looks like it's about to eat you. What would you like to do as this thing comes at you?
Yeah, Miix immediately draws their little weapons. Solemn lament. Let me see. Let's see.
Would you like to attack it?
Yeah, I would love to attack it.
All right. So you can roll your composure firearms.
Composure firearms.
Yep, and add your extra solemn lament dice.
Gotcha. Let me see. Alrighty. Thankfully. I'm just making sure I have the right thing. Cool. And then I get the... there we go. Cool. Awesome. And what is the difficulty?
The difficulty is a DC free.
Cool. I should have said black first one.
Black first one, all right.
And then I will... go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna let you know what the first one does before you fire the second one. So 4 successes on a DC free. That is going to do 1... no, because it adds the plus free, so with the margin. So that's going to be 4 aggravated black damage, which this creature does resist.
Okay.
So it is actually going to be taking
2.
4 superficial black damage.
Okay.
As it kind of rivs and wriggles at the attack. And make your second one.
Ooh, we'll power that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. 4 successes on the DC free. So you are doing this time a point of aggravated white damage, which then gets reduced to superficial by this creature. And Miix, is that your turn?
Yeah, so basically Miix is like drawing solemn lament and shooting at this evil creature who threatens their fish, their bucket of fish. And they gotta save their food. Like, this is like life or death, literally. Miix like comes running in from the side and starts just shooting it, trying to force it away from the buckets. In an effort to save their food.
Absolutely. You're able to protect and draw it away from the buckets, but it looks like it's changed its attention from the little fish to the two of you, who are a bit bigger of a meal. And Merru, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I think we all know what I want to do.
Oh, I think we do. Absolutely.
Don't shoot the fish!
Yeah, I was gonna say just DC, and then I said no, I'll save that. What was the DC again?
DC free, but yeah, DC free.
Okay.
I like Miix attack twice, and I remembered Mix's attack counts as one because it's solemn lament.
Okay. What could go wrong? Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yup.
8 success critical on a DC free, so that's gonna be 9 aggravated black damage, then reduced to 9 superficial.
Merru takes his food seriously.
This thing is almost bloodied, almost down to like half of its health left, and a single fire from the bullet.
Let's go.
Right, if you want to describe,
Right. Yes.
what Merru does.
He's still sitting because he fell backwards, but he easily, grabs solemn lament. No, not solemn lament. I don't have solemn lament. Oh my gosh, I grabbed magic bullet. I was reading something, but and he aims it, and very quickly, because he's now in survival mode, and does what he always does, and he fires the gun, and the portal forms, and with a crackle of blue electricity, the bullet flies straight at the creature.
Yes, and we go to the creature's turn. The creature lunges forward, and it sees Merru right there, so it attacks. And can you make me a DC-free Dex Athletics to dodge?
Sure.
As it makes an incomprehensible noise.
Ooh. Sure. We reroll. Can't settle for 2.
Yeah, that's a
I guess we're settling for 2.
2 successes against difficulty-free.
Well, Merru was, he probably wasn't able to get to his feet that fast. He's still a little seasick, He probably tries to hop to his feet as normal, and that screech makes his, it's almost like rattling in his head, and the horns on top of his head kind of flicker a little bit as he feels this wave of mix of nausea and pain, and he's not able to way fast.
The teeth sink into you as you take 2 plus the margin, so free superficial red damage.
Okay. Is that after
It would be superficial, so it would be free, and then it would then be half to the superficial. So you only take 1 red damage.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. I guess when he takes that hit, he'll kind of stumble backwards and grab onto his arm and just go, shit!
Careful. Also, wait. Is it still going to be edible after being shot with magic bullet?
Figure that out later!
No, I mean, I feel like that's kind of important.
We'll figure that out later!
Yeah, I guess.
Merru, you also are inflicted by this creature with 2 sinking. Forgot to add that.
Oh.
And pallid noise. Don't worry what pallid noise is. If it becomes relevant, it'll become relevant.
Okay.
But as you two have an argument, as this creature attacks, Kai, you hear the sounds of a scuffle on the deck.
Kai's been walking the perimeter of the boat, pretending to not be a little bit ouchied from Miix being like, oh, perfect, there are 2 fishing rods, which is the exact right amount of fishing rods. And hears a scuffle and goes like, oh no, because he figures that something has gone wrong between the 2 of them. And when he turns the corner, and there is a... Kai doesn't know what a mermaid is, I don't think. He sees a giant, disgusting-looking slug creature thing covered in blood and also Merru injured. He goes, oh god. But also, the fact that it's already covered in blood means that they are trying to kill whatever this thing is. I don't... Does he have to wait to attack it, or can he just go for it immediately, because that seems to be what Merru and Miix are doing?
I would say, Kai, since you just entered, at the end of the turn, you would wait to go, as those 2 are, like, right in front of it, and you're probably running over to them. Okay,
cool. Kai is... Yeah, then Kai is running over to them, shocked, and like, he's feeling shocked, but he's also kind of impressed, because, like, if they pulled this thing up, regardless of which one of them it was, this is an impressive feat of strength. Like, he would pat one of them on the back about this if, they weren't actively being attacked.
Absolutely. But yes, Miix, though, it's back to your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, Kai, we're trying to kill this thing. It's also potentially food. So try not to...
Cut its head off? Should I cut its head off?
Yeah! Alright, now we're cooking with gas. Oh, God. Man, I really shouldn't be doing this while I'm sick, huh, guys? Alright. And then Miix, rolls their shoulders. And they are going to shoot again, Mr. DM.
Absolutely. Make that roll.
I will. Let's see what happens. First one was black, as always.
Oh my gosh, a 5 success crit. So this one is going to be doing 5 black damage, which is almost enough to take the mermaid down. It looks like it's not doing well. Do you want to describe what happens when Miix shoots it?
Yeah. Well, should I do the second roll now, just in case?
Yes, absolutely. Make that second roll first. Oh, it's going down. It's going down 5 successes DC free.
Yeah.
Would you like to describe how Miix takes it down?
So I think Merru shooting a magic bullet, and then it coming and hitting Merru. Miix realizes, oh wait, this thing is still slithering. It's a little close to the edge. Oh no, it's gonna knock the freaking rods over, and the buckets. Oh no, not all the hard work. And so Miix locks in. They, it's sort of like they have like a cut in across the screen. It's like, when you activate eco. It's like a super silly moment where they just like narrow their eyes and dash in and just start blasting this creature apart. Multiple shots of solemn lament. They like kick it off of Merru and just like shove both of the pistols straight into what appears to be its mouth, head, whatever it is, and they just start blasting it, and bam, they, finally the creature sort of like topples over, and Miix just sort of spins the pistols in both hands, and then it's like blows out one of them almost like a candle, and sheathes them and says, on a good day's work.
A little butterfly floated up when you blew on the gun. And
Jackpot.
you all have defeated this creature, which slumps down. Merru, you are no longer afflicted with pallid noise.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I think the headache that had just like bloomed in his head dissipates a bit. And he takes a few cautious steps over to it, and because magic bullet, it's a big rifle, he's able to kind of poke at it while keeping it a little bit of a distance away, just in case. And he goes, well, I think we got it. Can we eat it?
I have no idea. Let's find out. Also, we saved our fish.
We did. That was
Which
the
is
most
important.
part.
It is.
Besides the fact that we saved ourselves.
May Pryor make an entrance at this point?
Absolutely. I will say the fish are all safe. Funnily enough, Miix's fishing rod was still in the water as everything was happening. But it looks like whatever bit the line pulled the fishing rod under. At this point, however, Pryor, you may enter the...
Yeah, Pryor turns the corner. He looks like his hands are covered in oil, and he wipes his brow with the back of his hand, which is still somewhat clean, only leaving a small streak across his forehead as he says, "Engines are all checked up, and we're ready to go. I see you all were busy."
We got food.
We got food.
You absolutely do not.
Yeah.
That's a person.
That's a
Merru,
person.
Comment.
That doesn't
Excuse me.
look like a person.
Pryor, you need glasses. That's not a person.
That is a
That-
sea creature.
That
Is
a
what
creature of the
happens.
sea.
That is what happens to poor sailors who get too close to whales.
So it's not edible.
It's
Is
not
what
edible.
You're saying.
You mean we all did all that effort, and we can't even eat the thing?
If you all want to consume human flesh, you absolutely can, but I'm not sure what that thing will do to you. It is, however, very valuable. Mermaid oil fetches a fair price.
Really?
So you're saying we made
Wait.
money?
We made money. Even better.
Oh, absolutely.
How do we get? Wait.
How do we get the oil?
We'll take it below deck. When we reach port, we can probably find someone to offload it to. Sure, we won't fetch top market price for it. It's damaged, but
Money's
we'll at
money.
least be able to make some quick on.
It's money.
That's all we need is money.
Absolutely. And Miix looks over at Merru and Kai and raises two hands for high fives.
I didn't do anything.
High fives?
I will hesitantly, lightly high five Miix.
Merru will also very hesitantly raise his hand, debate whether he wants to or not, and then quickly high five them and then put his hand back down.
Oh, Miix pounds both of those hands, boom, super hard, yeah, let's go! We got, I shouldn't say that when I'm sick. We got money! Woo!
That is true. We got money and we got food.
And we got food, fish, we got crab. You ever had crab, Kai, Pryor?
And we got fish. Not just
And we got fish.
we got crabs at the beach. I got crabs at the beach.
Oh, we got more crab. And we got a
Yes.
nice fish.
We got more than one nice fish.
We got, we got nice fish.
I'll deal with the mermaid. You all get back into position as soon as I bring this thing downstairs. We're gonna restart the engine and get out of here, okay?
He didn't even give us a good job. I feel like that's a little offensive.
Aye, Captain.
You all did an excellent job. Good work, managers.
Ah,
Thanks, Captain.
thanks, Capitan.
Why did you say it like
Thanks.
Capitan? That's how
Yeah.
you say it.
that? It
In
is?
Spanish, yeah.
Oh.
Capitan is Spanish for captain.
Oh. Okay.
I am well versed in many languages, actually, if you ever need any tips.
Okay.
One of the upsides of being an S-board, I suppose.
Right.
Prior
And I
will bring the mermaid corpse to somewhere downstairs in one of the storage rooms to secure it properly, and then after cleaning himself off, he will get back to restarting the engine and continuing on their route.
Yes, absolutely. I would say prior, I will make you roll to handle the mermaid corpse. You have a perfect memory, and you have been in U Corp before. You're able to handle it even with the oil leaking out. You also notice there's some scrap metal caught in this mermaid as you're bringing it down.
Prior will note that in his head for when he goes to off-sell it. He's not going to do mermaid surgery.
Absolutely. And all of you do you all start to set sail again? It looks like the lake over has cleared.
Prior does not give them much of a choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever Prior decides to do is what we do.
Yeah, if they have the time at all, just based on the fact that last time Kai left Merru alone, he was sliding on his stomach, almost vomiting. He'll probably sit with him and like make sure that he keeps his eyes on the horizon, and also give him water, even if Merru goes, "No, don't."
Yeah, Merru definitely goes, no, don't.
Yeah.
My rations.
So if Miix wants to read their Yuri.
Oh, Mix has already finished that book. It's now time for a new one. This one's actually a really, really nice book. So it's about basically a traveler who travels through all the wings, and as like Mix flips through it, it details this intense affair between a royal not like a member of royalty and a lowly pauper, and Mix is genuinely really enjoying it. It's like so good. Like Mix will every now and then go, "Oh my god, really?" and like put like a hand over their mouth, like, "Oh my gosh, no, he didn't. Oh my god." And like as it's like super intense. Like it's starting to get like, yeah, like it starts to get a little raunchy, and like Mix like puts a hand over their eyes and then like parts them a little bit to keep on reading. Oh my god, that's so scandalous.
I and Merru
Oh,
are actively ignoring the noises that Miix is making from the other side of the boat.
oh my god, Kai, you have to hear this. This is
No.
insane. Yeah, that's what Mix is doing.
And as Mix is narrating their reactions aloud for all of you to hear, you all can see the port draw nearer. A giant seafaring vessel made by merging together countless shipping containers. And I think this, managers, is where we'll take our intermission as we head toward Port Marlin. So we will be back in 15 minutes for the second part of the session. Thank you all for having joined us. I hope you're all looking forward to what the managers will get up to at the port. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and thanks for sticking around for our intermission. As we enter Marlin Port, the monster defeated, you now all have arrived at Marlin Port, having set sail with Prior at the helm, the former big brother knowledgeable of the rules of the lakes, and Merru and Miix having fished up and defeated a mermaid, with Merru surviving his seasickness. The group has now made it to the port town. You can see advertisements for bottles of mermaid perfume extracted straight from their left fins, sold at a special discount, and sardine whale flavored ice cream being sold at another shop nearby. There are various clubs whose music bumps out onto the streets. All sorts of people rush by you, from locals to tourists. I will say you were all able to take a moment and sell off the mermaid and the scrap, which gives you all some extra on for the next leg of this journey. And with that done, managers, what would you like to do?
That's a good question. Well, I think Miix has an idea. If I may be so bold, Mr. DM.
Of course, what's Miix's idea?
So I think Miix turn and says, well, place is big, bigger than I expected.
It definitely is. If you all look up, you can see all those rows of houses built upon houses. You can see the smokestack of the port.
Yeah.
And there's lots of bright lights around.
Well, staying together didn't work so well for us last time, Miix says, kind of shooting a glance at everyone, like, So I guess we could split up, cover more ground.
That actually might be a good idea at this point.
All of us individually, or? Oh, sorry,
It's a
Prior.
bad idea.
Not individually, no. I still think that is a bad idea, but in pairs.
I mean, that could work. Always have someone to watch your back. What was it that Mr. Pryor used to say at the facility with those stupid clerks? Buddy system?
Buddy system is exactly what I was thinking of, yes. That's honestly probably a great idea. Manager Miix, thank you for your suggestion, and I would agree. We can cover more ground. We're here to restock, refuel, learn anything we can about Birgh, his current status, current situation, and the Golden Bough.
Yeah.
I suggest we now have the capacity to keep track and contact each other, which means that we can move in pairs at our leisure. And if anything happens, we just contact the rest of the group.
Let's set up a meeting point. Where do we want to meet?
Somewhere we can easily remember, probably. There's lots of signs. Could use that as a...
It's true. Mr. DM, is there like an establishment or something near here that we could like meet, like a big neon sign?
You all do see a big neon whale sign from one of the shops in this area. That might
Well, if
stick
that isn't
out
a
as
sign of us. If that isn't a sign of a sign, I don't know what is.
Sure. I guess we can all meet up at that. What is it? Is it like a little bar or something, or is it like a?
My guess it's like a
Mr. DM, out of curiosity.
shop, like a
Yeah.
sushi place.
Like, is
Yeah,
it like
it looks like a little bar in the corner over there.
cool. Yeah, it's like this little place then. Then yeah, Miix will say, sure, then we can meet up at that place right there. The mother of pearl or something. But yeah, we can meet up over there then once we're all done.
All right. Well, who's going with who then?
Briar straightens his back at this point and cracking his neck either side, he says, I would suggest Merru should travel with me and Kai should travel with you, Miix.
Reasoning?
Kai and Merru are our best scufflers, and so they should not be on the same party together.
Sounds good.
No, you're
Fair
right.
enough.
You're right, and I shouldn't go with Miix because we both have guns.
Exactly.
I see. That makes
Ranged
sense.
melee pairs, 2 teams. We can watch out for each other. We're a good spread of talents and capabilities. This will maximize our ability to respond to any threat.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. We'll meet back up here. Keep in contact over comms if anything goes wrong. And enjoy your time in Marlin Port. It is one of my favorite ports here in L Corp, actually. I have fond memories of this place. You know, I wonder if my old things are still here.
Hustle and bustle. Well then, Kai, let's head out.
After you.
Hi, Miix. The two of you head out, leaving Prior and Merru.
Actually, Manager Merru, do you mind if we take a slight detour? I know of a place we can go to get some information, but I do actually think I still have a supply. Yes, I do still have a shipping container rented out here. Assuming that no one has raided it yet, there are a few things from there I would like to grab first.
I mean, that's fine by me. It shouldn't take that long, right?
No. 5-minute detour at most.
Oh, that's fine.
Great. And he gestures with his head and says, just be careful in the crowd. Watch for pickpockets.
Right. Of course. Lead the
And
way,
Prior
Captain.
will lead. Prior will take off the captain hat, dust it off, and stash it away as he takes to walking, making sure he's keeping an eye on Merru, knowing that Merru is keeping an eye out for danger.
Absolutely. The two of you are able to make your way through the port, and Prior, you're able to stop at that shipping container and pick up whatever it is that you need to.
Okay, absolutely. So, Merru, Prior disappears for like a solid 8 minutes.
Oh,
A little longer than he expected. I mean, you're near the shipping container, so it's not like he's gone anywhere. It's just it seems to have taken him a little longer to dig around than he expected.
yeah. That's fine.
But after a bit, he emerges with his regular containment unit, and then a bag he's hanging off the side of the containment unit, and then this large purple and gold chain-laden book hanging off of his belt.
Merru, he takes a good look at the stuff that Prior grabbed and then just raises an eyebrow and goes, 8 minutes. 8-minute detour, not 5.
Sorry, I didn't know. That's a lie. I did remember where I put it, but it took me a little bit longer than I expected to decide if I want to bring it with me or not.
No, it's fine. I don't really care. Just mentioning.
Thank you for keeping me honest. And Prior does try and smile, but there's this crinkling at the corner of his eyes, like his heart's not really in it. despite the fact that it doesn't look that heavy, the book on his waist seems to weigh his entire body down just by carrying it. Well, with this, I will be able to fool even Birgh. I'm still up to my old ways, so... Our next step makes use of it. There's a couple clubs here, and unless things have changed too much, all the syndicates here... Well, they pay homage to the middle finger. Which means, even though I'm a guest... Well... They're still gonna probably answer my questions if I ask them.
Well, that's good at least. Merru's eyes, they kind of narrow a little bit at the idea of like going to clubs and stuff because of all the noise, but there's nothing he can do about it, so he doesn't mention it.
It's just around the corner, down the street. In Pryor's size, and when he picks his shoulders back up, there's this crack of cartilage. And as he rolls his shoulders, his head doesn't tilt all the way up, and these shadows seem to cast over his eyes as he turns. And instead of his brisk, normal walk, his footfalls seem heavy and purposeful as he effortlessly sheds, or more accurately puts on, a new set of skin over top of him, metaphorically, of course, and begins to walk like a big brother should.
Well, Merru will follow behind because to keeping a better eye out for everything. And he's letting Pryor stay in charge. He doesn't want to cause any problem, so he's just letting Pryor do what Pryor thinks is best.
And there's a certain club that I imagine Pryor would know to head towards.
Huh. It's bigger than I remember. Louder. Longer line, too.
Great.
He's gonna eye the kind of folk who are in line to this club.
Absolutely. You see that there is a rather long line outside this club. There are some folk dressed in these red pirate outfits. There are some folks who are dressed in sailor outfits. There are some who look wealthier than others standing in here. And you can hear faint music echoing out from behind the doors. The people standing at the doors, the bouncers basically checking people in, are dressed in those red pirate uniforms as well, and they seem to be stopping each guest to verify if they are on a list before either letting them pass or turning them away.
Better security than the last time I was here. You ever been to a club like this before, Merru?
No, not really. Kind of avoided those places for the most part.
Yeah. There weren't a lot of good clubs back in W. Were there?
Certainly not.
Well. Still. Alright. I'm gonna try and give you the rundown so you're not going in blind. The Syndicate who runs this place, if it is who I think it is still, they're going to be loyal to me and mine. As long as they think me and mine is who, you know what I mean. As long as I keep the act up, nothing should go wrong. And if things do go wrong, we definitely should run.
Okay.
The good news is they're a pretty minor syndicate, at least they were last time I was down here, so, if we piss them off, there's a good chance we might be able to brush it over, but let's try not to do that.
Right.
You're
So-
here as my guest,
Okay.
so long as you stick close to me. They won't touch you any more than they'll touch me.
Okay.
You can insult them. You can say whatever you want to them. If you see anyone else from the middle, I'm the only one who can say anything to them.
Right. Sounds easy enough.
Any questions?
And Merru, he genuinely tries to think of anything, but then shakes his head and goes, "No, I think I got it."
Good. If anything comes up, just tug on gaze, and I'll see what I can do to get us out of that situation. All right?
Okay.
And with that, Pryor cuts through the line without missing a beat and starts walking right up to the front of the club.
A couple people, when you start doing that, kind of shouted out, "Hey!" And then they catch sight of the book and immediately shut their mouths and kind of scramble to, like, you know, get out of your sight as much as they can.
The eyes on the side of his head, even though he doesn't turn his face, dart to look at everyone who opened their mouth, catching their eyes maybe for a moment before they lock back to where Pryor's looking. And he's gonna walk right up to the bouncer.
You see a man dressed in this sort of uniform standing at the door. And he looks you up and down and says, "Welcome. What brings you here, and how many do you have with you today?"
I'm Big Brother from the West. I'm here on personal business. Got one with me, and I should be on the list.
Their eyes widen at that, dart straight to the book, and then they nod and say, right, let's see. They check the list and then say, "Can I get the name?"
Pryor. Just Pryor.
They kind of hurriedly nod at that. As they're searching the list, you can tell as fast as they can with how their eyes are scanning it. They flip through the whole list, flip back to months ago, round as they realize they still don't see the name, and they kind of whisper to one of the other bouncers who runs, goes to grab another list. And while the one guy's flipping through the list and the other guy keeps fetching more lists, a third one comes up, sees that you're waiting, sees the line, sees the book, and then says, "We are incredibly sorry for the wait. We're just making sure to confirm."
Older list.
Older list? They toss
Go
aside
back. Further.
Okay. They come out with a book that looks almost ancient. And as the one looking through the list starts to read it, his eyes land on the name there, widen, and you kind of hear a whisper of, "How the fuck are you on here?" Thank you, sir. Please come right in. We're so sorry to have kept you waiting. Enter right this way. And they all scramble to get out of your way.
Pryor walks by them and looks at the old, beaten-up list and says, "Next time I'll expect you to put me on the most up-to-date list." And he just walks right by them.
Oh, of course. They're just kind of nodding as he walks by. None of them even bother to confirm Merru or his presence there. And you're all able to pass by the neon signs and lights. You see one of the other bouncers, once you enter, sort of slip into the club You have a feeling, Prior. They're here to alert their boss of your arrival to their establishment.
Yeah, big brothers don't wander into minor syndicate clubs every day. The second Prior gets in, he actually kind of winces and like puts a finger in his ear, adjusting to the loud bass that booms, I imagine, through the walls of the shipping containers. I imagine there's this weird tinny sound to the music in here, considering all the walls are made of probably sheet metal.
Absolutely, there most definitely is.
Wish I had brought your protection.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, well, now that we're in, grab a drink if you want. And Prior, well into character, will just walk by the bar, snap his fingers, and say, "Drink!"
The bartender hears that, comes over, looking sort of aggressive as if about to demand who's asking, sees the book, and immediately says, "What would you like?"
Get me a rusty sailor on the rocks.
Absolutely. And for your guests, they kind of look over to Merru, realizing there's a second person there.
Any preference?
He thinks for a second. He doesn't. He's drank before, of course. He just doesn't really. Usually, he didn't really know what kind of drinks he was drinking. To be completely honest, and he just is like, "Can I? Did they just have like, I don't know, beer? I don't know."
Beer, yeah. Get my friend here a golden mermaid, easy on the scales.
Absolutely. And the bartender rushes to make these drinks for you. And passes them over.
No associate of mine. No. He as soon as he passes them over, he nods the man. He gives the man like a half-hearted wave of his hand as he turns to Merru and says, "No associate of mine is drinking beer in this club. Golden Mermaid.
What's wrong with beer?
Get it down in one gulp or you won't get it down at all." And Prior just knocks back his drink like it's water.
Well, Merru, a little confused, will do the same.
Hey, Merru, would you like to make me a composure resolve?
Yeah. What's the DC?
DC 2. I'll be nice.
No! No willpower! No! No, we're back. We're back.
You feel it start to come back up, but you managed to get it down.
Yeah. It's a little rough.
Ah, that's it. Now you're a real member of U Corp. And he pats Merru twice on the shoulder.
Right. Merru coughs again and then goes, "Right."
Alright, here. Prior takes the glass, just leaves them both on the bar. He tosses a couple on the counter. Put the bartender at ease that he did an okay enough job. And Prior will sort of walk his way across the dance floor towards the stairs, just expecting that the crowd is gonna part around him like the sea. He does not slow down his stride in the least.
They do. There are, again, a couple people who notice too late. You can see as you're striding, almost get hit, turn to say something, see that very recognizable book, and don't say anything.
Yeah, this is what it used to be like, Merru, back in the day.
Right. It's, very, very bright.
Yeah, intoxicating. Easy to get lost in. You don't really keep track of time in a place like this. The only way you even know that any time is passing at all is when the DJ switches.
I see.
You could lose 100 years in here. Not even know a day came and went. It's a beautiful place.
It's an interesting word for it.
Ah. Either way, up the stairs we go. After me. And Prior, actually, his gaze softens a little bit, and enough to tell Merru that was a disingenuous line. But there's also there's a hint of nostalgia in the back of his gaze that's a little hard to miss as he strides up the stairs, enjoying the sensation that everyone here will listen to everything he has to say.
And as you're both heading up the stairs, I'm not going to ask Prior to give me this check unless you'd like to roll it. But can Merru give me a wits awareness check?
Sure. We looking around.
I just know what Prior's pool is, so that's why I didn't ask. Unless you'd like to give it a shot.
Nope.
Prior is not aware of his surroundings right now.
That's fine. What's the DC for
Okay.
this?
Could I offer Merru an assist dice then, actually?
You
Because
know what?
everyone around Prior is parting ways.
Absolutely, you may. It's a DC 3.
All right. Let's see. Let's roll.
Oh
Crit
my gosh.
success. What am I seeing?
A 7 success critical on a DC 3. Merru, as you two are making your way, the crowd parting, you see a couple in the corner of the club, kind of like giggling and drinking together. And you recognize the 7th Fixer from the magazine cover.
No.
The ring not on his finger, and a shorter Fixer with him who looks just like the she. Those two up in the corner there.
Oh my god. Well.
No.
I think.
Prior has not seen anything. Prior has not seen anything.
Oh, don't worry. He will. Because Merru, I think he quietly kind of gasps. He wasn't expecting to see them here, of all places. And I mean, like, they are on a mission right now. That is the most important thing. But because he's just so surprised, I think without even, like, really thinking about it, he kind of grabs onto Prior's arm with one hand and then, like, kind of repeatedly taps at it with his other, kind of almost frantic. And he goes, Prior, wait, lean down for a second, quickly.
Prior pops like a perfect squat to like get down to Merru's level.
Yeah. So he'll tug on Prior's sleeve just one more time, and then now that he's able to be a bit quieter due to the proximity, he goes, my 2 o'clock. Look that way. Be subtle about it. Do you see it? Do you see them?
Prior tries to look through the crowd, and then there's a moment where he goes, wait a minute, I'm a big brother, I don't have to be subtle. And he just rises to his full height and looks directly that direction.
Do you see?
You can see them. You can absolutely see them now, Prior.
Prior
They can
sees
also
them?
see you.
Prior sees them, his eyes widen, and then he just like, for them it's like a big brother whack-a-mole. Like maybe the 7th Fixer sees this like big brother menace from over the crowd and then like dip back down again as he goes down. He goes, oh my god, it's them.
I told you, be subtle.
I didn't know. I thought it was someone that was watching us.
But no,
What are they doing? I didn't see a ring. Did you see a ring?
No, of course I didn't see a ring. Oh
my god, did she break it off?
I don't know. I hope so. I just they really have no shame.
I mean, I guess everything was out in the open after it went out in the monthly issue.
I mean, I guess so, but I feel like at that point you'd kind of try to lay low for a little bit, right? Like, do you want to be known as the two pieces of shit plastered all over Fixers Monthly?
I mean, I guess they just don't care, you know?
I guess.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe they get like sick enjoyment out of it.
oh my god, you know what? I bet that's exactly it. My question is though, the she, like, why? Like, after that, like, maybe a 7th Fixer I can see getting a kick out of it,
Yeah.
but what's she getting out of it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I really like the she association anymore. So I don't know.
No. I've not got the highest opinions of them, honestly.
Yeah.
You don't think she's here for us, do you?
I don't think so. That'd
No,
be
yeah, she definitely looks like she's off
strange.
duty.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll check again.
Oh, my...
Pryor rises over the crowd and tries to look back at him.
I think Merru will tug on his sleeve and be like, Pryor!
I imagine you're not being subtle. They see you this time, and they actually look kind of incredibly nervous. Like, it's pretty clear they're kind of like their gazers are darting around.
All 6 of Pryor's eyes, including gaze, are looking directly at them. And like, they're all of his eyes with eyelids are squinting. He's like, Merru, could you hand me the issue of Fixers Monthly?
Merru did keep it. He does so.
Yeah, he holds it up in one hand and like looks between the cover and them. And he goes, no, oh my god, it is them.
Don't
Crazy.
hold it up like that. Oh my!
Wait,
Pryor,
people in the crowd are taking notice of this.
are you
Pryor sinks back below the crowd.
actually? Wait, no, that might have been no. Humiliate them. Wait. Yeah,
He's
that
like,
actually is a good idea.
Yeah, he looks up. Yeah, Pryor looks at him. He just nods. He goes, "I'm just saying, this is absolutely crazy. I'm just."
Yeah. No, they
Hold on,
really.
it's-
Hmm?
No, it's just. Wow, the audacity.
Yeah, they don't even have like pretending like to like wear like sunglasses or anything at this point.
They're still wearing their work uniforms.
Yeah. No shame, I say. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well. Hopefully there's a reporter out here. What a good scoop.
Pryor turns to the crowd nearby and goes, "What, you listening or something? Get back to your dancing."
The crowd
Okay.
scrambles to get back to dancing. You've noticed no one is saying anything, but at this point, everyone was listening in. The two in the corner are trying to like subtly leave the club. The she and the 7 are like trying to like scoot on out of there.
I think at that moment Merru realized something. It was actually, it probably is a bad idea if there's a reporter here because I don't want us to get in any photos.
Oh, I really don't want to end up in the next issue of Fixers Monthly. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Try and not show his face again as he like kind of he tries to stay squatting and walk up the stairs and yet still do so as a big brother, and it's too much for one person to do. He does look like he's crab walking intimidatingly up a set of stairs.
No one's gonna say anything. No one's gonna say anything about that, but what they're thinking is different.
Oh my god. Well, Merru will follow behind.
And do you both make your way up to the VIP rooms?
Pryor will absolutely make his way up to the VIP rooms, straightening himself up and recomposing himself as soon as he gets to the top of the stairs, only with one more turn to Merru and goes, "That was crazy. Oh my god, wow."
I know. Oh, I'm gonna have to tell Kai after this.
You think? Oh my goodness. Do you think the other fixers? Oh, I really hope the other fixers from that issue aren't here. Like, I do not want to run into one of the best and brightest.
Same, me neither.
Prior shakes his head and makes his way deeper into the club.
You all are able to make it up to the VIP rooms, and you are ushered right inside. It actually looks like they were waiting for you to make your way up here. You have a feeling that they were basically expecting your arrival the moment you came in, given the fact that, like, the ones outside the VIP room kind of gesture for you to go right on in.
As Prior gets there, he just kind of nods his head as he walks in and says, "Appreciate the welcome."
Oh, of course. And when you enter, you see a woman sitting on the couch in there. She's dressed in that pirate uniform, but her hat is much fancier than the rest. She has long white hair. And this is what she looks like. And she's flanked by 2 members of the Twinhooks.
Prior does not ask. He just goes to the couch across from her and places himself down, leaning against one of the armrests, immediately resting his hand on his chin and looking incredibly bored.
Big Brother Prior, how can I be of service? I'm Smee, first mate of the Twinhook Pirates. The captain's out at the moment, I'm afraid, as is Big Brother Ricardo, if you're looking for him.
Not looking to any of my associates here. I'm just pursuing something. You know, it's a long journey from the west to here, so apologies if my temper's a little short. You know, the climate's a little different than back home.
Well, there's no need for you as a Big Brother to apologize. I hope you do understand we weren't expecting to see another Big Brother around here, particularly one who hasn't visited in quite some time, so we hope that the accommodations are to your liking, and we are here to provide however we can.
Oh, I don't apologize often. Smee, was it?
Yes.
I applaud you for keeping good records of my visit. You don't know how many places I go that it becomes a whole hassle. I don't like to have to prove who I am, you know. When I make an example one time, I expect that example to be remembered. It seems the Twinhooks still remember the example I set. So good for you.
Thank you. She clearly looks, you can see that flicker in her eyes, despite how they're cold, and that smile on her face. You don't need an insight roll to know that this woman is trying to be as placating as possible.
Prior leans to Merru, and he says, "Twinhooks. They're kidnappers, extortionists, blackmailers."
I see.
Want to see a syndicate squirm? And Prior looks at Merru with a small smile.
Merru kind of tilts his head a little. He doesn't know what that means, but then he gives a little shrug as if telling him to go ahead.
Yes, well, you've been accommodating, but finding the information I need has proven tiresome. Prior cranes his neck, closes his eyes, and just gives a single loud, exasperated sigh. Caused, of course, by the Twinhooks. In implication.
Everyone in this room stiffens at that sound. And you can tell there is this jolt of terror in her eyes as she remembers a certain rule she'd heard of in the books. And she simply goes, well, we're here to provide whatever information we can. The Twinhooks have a fast network, you see, so I am sure that even if the big brother himself and the captain aren't here, I should be able to provide that.
Right. Well, in that case, then, let's hopefully keep this brief. I am a busy man with much to do. I hear that I'm not the only big brother here right now, aside from Big Brother Ricardo. Big Brother Birgh. You heard of him?
Yes, we have indeed. A fairly new big brother to the area, though I remember he came from the west as well.
Yeah, I know him. Just coming to check up on, an old sibling, as it were. Been in this business a little longer than he has. And I'm just curious if there's anyone around here who knows what he's been up to lately. You know, anyone that we might be able to talk to. Might be able to give us, an idea where we can find him. I hear he's out in the water right now.
Well, last I've heard of him, he's been out on the water in his party boat. And she kind of says, I have a map of the Great Lakes, of course, and kind of like hurries for one of the Twinhooks to get like, you know, basically an image of that to pull on out. And she points and marks a general area on the Great Lake. Because I believe while the laws of the lake can't be written down, you can still have an idea of...
Yeah. Prior looks it over, and within a few seconds he has it memorized. And he gestures for the map to be taken away.
They kind of blink, surprised, but will still take it away, though she'll say, you may have it if you'd so like.
I've already memorized it.
I see. She nods at that, and does not question it.
Good, you're learning quick. Next. Anything around the port I should be aware of?
Well, I plan to pass this information on to Big Brother Ricardo when he returned to port, but I figured it's best if you're asking, I report to the one here. There's been an unmarked old sailing vessel done up in black and white, which docked in port a day or so ago. The men we sent out to greet them never returned, you see, and we got word on the street that some of the little siblings stationed here have gone missing. I, of course, did my very best to handle the situation, but we lost a good deal of our own men, and we are only a subsidiary, after all, of the middle, and pale in comparison to your greatness. But one of ours did gather some intel. It seems a gallery ship of the rings is here. And as I said, I have been waiting to report to one of the big brothers or sisters in the area. But at the moment, all of my attempts have been unsuccessful. It would seem they're all out on business and unable to deal with this. It's the nature of the Great Lakes, where communication can be difficult when one is out at sea and has parties.
I don't need you to explain the laws of the Great Lakes to me, Smee.
Of course. She kind of just nods her head and shuts her mouth.
Well, it seems like these little siblings might need some help. And it seems that they might have some information that we need. And it seems that a fellow big brother is in need of a favor being done. I'll be more than happy to go deal with this. Get these little brothers and sisters out of trouble. And in return, you will let Ricardo know that I have done him a favor, won't you?
Of course. We will be sure to pass that on to him.
Very good. Us members of the Middle and all of its subsidiaries must work together, after all. Thank you, Smee, for getting this information to a big brother. You can trust that I'll handle it from here.
I know that I can.
Well, Smee, this has been an enlightening meeting. I appreciate your willingness to sit down with me. I will be on my way, though I'm sure you will hear when I succeed at what you've asked of me. He gestures to Merru and says, "Did you have anything you wish to question them on? I give you permission to speak on my behalf."
Oh, no, I have nothing to say.
You could take a lesson from him, Smee. And Pryor bares his teeth in what could be construed as a smile.
Smee just nods her head. She does pause and she does say, forgive me for speaking out of turn then, but I have heard some rumors from the West, given the big brother and his little siblings who moved into the area from there, that I believe you may be interested in before you go. Of course, I can also not share if you prefer.
That's what I wanted, Smee. Information. Simple, concise, to the point. You're not speaking out of turn at all. Share what you need to say.
There has been rumors that the web is up and running again.
Pryor's face drops from that passive snarl to this total blank-faced neutrality. I'm sorry. The web is under new management.
Yes, you can see she actually looks caught off guard for a second, and you have a feeling that they all may have presumed that you were the one who had gotten it back up and running, now that they realize that you're here. And alive.
Pryor clocks that and then smiles and says, well, the people I sent work fast. I hadn't expected them to get it up and running so quickly.
Pryor, would you like to make me a charisma leadership?
Yeah. There's better point willpower.
That's probably a good idea. It's a scaling difficulty, but
8 successes with a crit.
Eight successes with a crit? They fully believe you. Again, with that roll too, you can tell the Twinhooks were clearly very caught off guard by your presence. Given that they weren't hostile, you have a feeling that a bounty was not put out on your head. However, it seems that they
have no idea.
Yeah, they had no idea. And with the web up and running, they assumed and they are now convinced that it was you who got the place up and running again.
That tracks why that's the answer for why Pryor hasn't been hunted. Pryor internalizes this, steps over his momentary hiccup and says, well, you can spread the word. With the web up and running again, I am making my presence known. Do pass on my apologies that I've been absent for a little while, but, well... I will be around for a long time still. Thank you, Smee. I will pass on to Ricardo if I see him how helpful you were to me.
Thank you, big brother. And she kind of gives like a bow of respect as if she's not fully sure, but she really wants to not die.
Friar stands up swiftly, turns away from her. He walks out. Merru would be easily able to tell that Prior is suddenly moving on autopilot. He has that look on his face of like he is holding his breath underwater and he needs fresh air like now. He is cutting a straight path out of the room. He remembers as he leaves to hold up a hand and say, "At ease, dismissed. I'm on my way."
They all relax at that reassurance. And I imagine as you two head out of the club, you can feel that almost like collective sigh leave this VIP room. And do you both decide to head back to outside of the club?
Friar will head there unless Merru stops him.
Merru's not stopping him.
You are able to get away from the music.
Prior turns the corner, grabs onto his face, and just lets out like 3 heaving breaths that like sound like he's about to vomit. Before he sucks in air and holds his face steady, burying the nausea down inside of him as he grips onto his knees and tries to catch his breath.
I think seeing this, Merru will awkwardly, kind of trying to be somewhat, I don't know, comforting is the right word, will try to like pat him on the shoulder and be like, I won't ask. So
No.
don't worry.
No. Miix is right. I can't. The web. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
That was my club. I ran that place. Deep down inside of it, I'm sure you heard rumors of what went down inside.
I have certainly heard a thing or two. I've only seen it vaguely from a distance, though.
You were smarter than most of the folks on that back street. I lured them in droves. However bad you thought the rumors were, however much Greta seemed to think I was doing, I promise you it was a lot worse. When I left the web, I buried it. I left that place unusable. I made sure that no one else would make use of what I kept down there.
I see. It's clear Merru doesn't really know how to respond. So he doesn't try to say much.
there's a chance it's a fluke. I still can't. This makes everything make sense. The reason there hasn't been a bounty put out on me, I had expected everyone either thought I was dead, gone, or a traitor. But as long as the web is up and running, they just think that I've emerged from one of my long stretches of inactivity. As far as anyone's concerned, I'm just back to being another ghost on the streets. The great siblings left me alone, for the most part. I did my job diligently, and I did it for a long time. Other big brothers and big sisters didn't come around to our district very often because I didn't like visitors, and I certainly didn't entertain guests. I stayed in my web, and the world stayed outside. And if someone has started it again, it explains why some people want me dead, and why the middle doesn't think anything is wrong. This is good for us, in many ways. But it's just something I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for. 1, 2, maybe 3 of my eyes out for.
Right. Well, definitely good we got the information now rather than later.
They won't know how to work it. It took me a long time. So the web is just a ghost, a shell of its former self. And it only works out well for us. But that explains why my little siblings scattered to the 4 corners of the city. Birgh will know what happened to the rest of them. But I was the only one who had the key. I was the only one who could run the web.
All right.
It probably sounds like I'm speaking nonsense at you. I'm sorry this shook me far more than I thought it did.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's talk about something actually useful. We have a mission, and no time for me to have a mental breakdown. I've done that once before, and I do not want a repeat of that. If I start hearing voices in my head, I promise I will let you know. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Right.
Yeah. So there's 2 big brothers in the area. Don't know who this Ricardo is, but we know Birgh. We have a vague idea of where he is, but if we're gonna want more information on him, we're probably gonna need to go to the source. Actual members of the middle. Who have been there, maybe. And that seems to be these people on this ship.
All right. It's clear, Merru, he's still trying to like process everything, but he nods along and he goes, I already told you I'll do whatever plans you think are right here, so.
Okay. We'll have to group up with anyone before we try anything, but we'll have to head over to this ship. I'm a little concerned. The ring, normally outside of a finger bow bell, which I would have been told about if it was happening. They don't normally move so far into each other's turf. could be a rogue ship, but the middle certainly doesn't forget. Which means that these members are either all stupid or all strong enough to handle being here.
I see. So I guess we have to wait for Kai and Miix.
Yeah. We'll have to go see if we can meet up with them. Rendezvous point.
And did the two of you head to the rendezvous point? Is there anything else Merru and Pryor would talk about?
No, Merru has nothing else to say.
Merru,
Yes?
He rubs the back of his head, and he seems to lose his nerve right after he starts speaking, and he just sort of says, I don't think I've ever asked you who your favorite fixer is.
My favorite fixer?
Yeah.
Well, Merru, he kind of adjusts his magic bullet collar and he goes, well, if I have to answer, I guess. It's a little, common. I've always been a bit of a fan of the Red Mist. Kind of like, like a Backstreet's legend and all.
Yeah. She was a real piece of work.
I think she was pretty cool.
It depends on which side of the fence you were on, but... Pryor shivers like he's remembering something. I admit, she was very effective at what she did.
Yeah, that's why I liked her.
Hey, wait a second. The Red Mist.
Yeah.
She had that sword, right?
Maybe, yeah.
No, probably nothing. Probably.
Oh.
Sorry, My memory of her is a little bit fuzzy. I only ever saw her once.
You saw her? Wait, I mean, you saw her?
That's a story for another time.
Right, yeah, no, I was
Definitely a
just...
story for another time.
Right, I just was mildly surprised, that's all.
Pryor waves his hand off and smiles and says, next time we have a bit of a moment to breathe, I'll tell you about it. I imagine you'd find it. Well, it was quite the spectacular fight.
And it's very clear Merru's trying so hard to seem only mildly interested, and he goes, yeah, I guess you'll have to tell me eventually at some point, I guess.
I'll make sure I don't forget it. And he taps the side of his head and walks off down the street, trying to find his gate of a big brother, and he stumbles out of it a few times, and then locks in and moves with the force of footfalls that parts the crowd in front of him, leaving Merru a nice wake to follow behind in.
Merru will find. Oh, no, not find. We'll follow behind him.
And in a different area of Marlin Port, Kai, Miix, what have the two of you been up to?
Looking around.
Yeah, I was like, they've probably gotten to being a bit chatty after a while. I feel, Kai and Miix are friendly with each other, and Miix loves to talk.
Well, can't say I've had the honor of being here before. It's not a bad place. I kind of like the hustle and bustle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten to be in a crowded place I haven't gotten to be here, in a crowded place like this for quite a while, but, it's been a little too relaxing. Does that not catch you on edge a bit?
Nah, not really. I mean, you go through so much shit, you kind of get used to it.
So, I know we're trying to figure stuff out about, Birgh's current whereabouts and stuff. You're good at people. I might know a few of the ladies on the street. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
See, I'm not sure I'm good with people.
I've seen you lie pretty well before.
Ooh.
You and Pryor.
I see what you're saying. I'm a manipulator. It's kind of a little rude.
I think that we're friends, and I think that I'm just pointing at a strength of yours.
I'm just teasing. No, you're right. Unfortunately, but you are right.
And I think this is just a back and forth that the two of them are having as they're looking around. Due to the fact that neither of them have the reputation that Pryor does, I don't think that they have quite as much luck as he does.
Yeah, I would say as you're walking around, Kai, especially because of the influence you have on the streets, even if you haven't been here before, Precious has. You're probably able to gather a little bit of info around just the fact that there is a new Big Brother in the area, but there's not much you're able to find. However, as you're walking, you spot what looks like Merru and miss the crowd.
Oh.
What's
Sorry, well, there's Merru, I think, without Pryor, though?
You have a feeling you would see Pryor if Pryor was in the crowd.
Merru?
Is that not worrying? I feel like they would both shout out to Merru almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Merru! Hey!
As you call out to Merru, turns around, and you both notice two things. The first thing you notice is the person before you has much longer hair than Merru does. She simply was wearing it up in a ponytail. The second thing you both notice is that she's holding hands with someone the two of you know very well. As you see, Rinny, or rather, Doctor. She's not wearing the L Corp scientist uniform like she was back then, but is instead dressed in this brown coat And upon seeing the two of you, they instantly freeze and kind of stiffen. Rainy looks shell-shocked for a moment and like kind of horrified. And you can see her eyes darting around. Whereas the other woman sort of steps forward and just goes, "How did you know Merru?"
Doctor? Or
What the?
Rennie?
What?
You said you hadn't seen Kai completely blowing past Vienna, at least in the immediate, or sorry, Rennie's, Meru's sister. You said you hadn't seen Meru's, and then Kai looks Vienna up and down, sister, in a while. You know how much he misses her. You saw his expression back then.
Both of them are kind of look to each other, then look to both of you. Rainey's just kind of frozen. You can see she's almost shaking. Whereas Vienna says, "That's because we haven't. I've been stuck in District 23. How did both of you know Merru?" And then she also, her eyes kind of dart to Rennie at that, who is just still so quiet and shaking a bit.
Wait, okay. Okay, can we roll it back a little bit? Who are you? Miix says, looking at the lady who looks like Merru.
She kind of crosses her arms and goes, "I first want to know how you know him."
He's a colleague.
Meru's a friend of both of ours, though we haven't heard as much about you as I would like to before talking about him.
Vienna clocks that Mick said colleague, while Kai said friend. And then kind of looks to Kai first, and when she does, you can see this pitying expression in her eyes, and you kind of hear a whisper of, "Oh, you poor thing. You should get out while you still can." Both of you should, actually.
Hey. Who are you? I think I know who you are, but I want to hear it from your mouth.
My name is Vienna. Not that it concerns either of you.
Oh my god, you're... Oh, fuck. Okay. You're his sister.
She sort of winces at that and just says, "I am his sister. Yes."
Okay, we gotta go find Merru. We gotta find him now. Miix says, turning to Kai.
A brief panic in her eyes when you say that, and she says, "I think it's for the best that he doesn't see me and that I don't see him."
No, no, you don't understand. He's been looking for you for this entire time. Like, you're here. You like, Why
I don't know why
you...
Rainey wouldn't have said anything. I mean, that was like the first thing that came up when we saw her the first time. Not that I knew exactly who she was at the time, but
Rinny,
I mean, like he like, sorry, he like gestures at Vienna. He's like, if you saw her again, why wouldn't you say any? Like, why would you? You can.
no, I was gonna say, Rinny clearly looks incredibly distressed, and Vienna just kind of squeezes her hand, and she says, what Merru and I, our family business, it doesn't concern Rinny, and doesn't concern the two of you.
Okay, but like you still need to see him. Like he's been looking for you. Like I don't give a fuck about Rinny right now. Like we need to like let you know. Like he's been like, I don't know if you know this. Probably not, because she didn't tell you. But like, and I don't even know that well. But like, he's been like looking for you. But like he's like been looking. You know, like
What did you mean by getting out while we can?
She kind of just sighs and says, I don't care if he's been looking. He should have stopped and moved on with his own things. What I mean, and she looks to Kai, is that his love will be the death of you. Really. He means well, he really does. But he causes messes. It's inevitable that he will. And even if he doesn't mean to, it's going to happen, and he's going to rope you into it.
okay, so you're just not gonna see him? You're not gonna... okay. Vienna, was it? I don't care that you don't want to like see him anymore. All right, that's fine. If you don't want to see him ever again, that's fine. That's your business. You at least need to see him now and just tell him that to his face.
I can't do that. I don't think that would end well for either of us.
Yeah, no shit. Like, oh my god, someone that I've been looking for so long tells me I don't want to see anything. Of course that's gonna hurt, but I mean, at least that way you can both get some closure and move on.
Merru isn't the kind of person who will move on. And you see, Miix, there's kind of this spark in her eyes, and she says, you said it was colleagues, did you? Well, maybe you don't know this, but Merru's incredibly stubborn and headstrong. You have to fight tooth and nail to get him to do anything, to get him to agree with what you tell him, and he might randomly decide to do his own thing the moment he thinks he knows better.
Oh,
So no.
Believe me, I know that. I know that Merru's a stubborn little asshole. All right? I know that it's so hard to get him to open up to anything or get him to do anything. But regardless, I also know how it feels when someone you care about ends up leaving and abandoning you and you don't get any closure. I think you owe him that. Look, I'm not gonna pretend I know about your circumstances, but you're not just gonna at least like... I had someone recently who I cared about, and I didn't know if I'd ever see them again. And then I saw them, and then they left. And it hurt. But at least I have some sort of closure from that. You know? I don't think Merru's gonna... I think he's a little stronger than you give him credit for. I feel like you're kind of just running away from the problem. I don't...
You can hear the jangle of chains beneath that jacket she's wearing, as she kind of like shakes with some frustration, and she just goes, I don't know how long you've known him, but I imagine it can't be anywhere near as long as I have. So don't act like you know what's best for him, or you know how this will go.
Oh, really? I don't think you should act like you know what's best for him when you are effectively abandoning him and running away like a coward. Because that's what you are right now. You're a coward. Just go see the man.
Well, I'd rather have my own life than be tied down to him.
Then tell him that. Why are you being such a little bitch? Huh? Why? Why are you being such a little bitch about this? Why don't you go see him and tell him that to his fucking face? Oh, I want my own life. Oh, I wanna just run away and pretend like this never happened.
Hey, Miix, can you make me a DC 5 Dex Athletics, please?
Sure thing. Ooh, I'll do some willpower, why not?
Okay, barely.
They hit it.
5 successes. It meets the DC, but there is no need to worry, as you can hear the noise, and then you see Rinny seem to snap out of it and put a hand, the hand not holding Vienna's, on Vienna's shoulder.
Oh,
And
Vienna
Vienna
was gonna
takes
hit me.
a deep, shuddering breath and then says, I tried to say goodbye before, and it didn't work.
Yeah, you didn't do a good fucking job of it.
You know what? If you want to stick around him, fine. You're not dragging me back to him.
Who the fuck says
But
I'm
it's
not?
your funeral.
Who the fuck says I'm not? I think you fucking owe him an explanation. Just one. I'm asking you just to say some words to him, lady. I'm not asking you to stay around for longer than a couple minutes.
I don't think you understand that with Merru, it's not going to be a couple of minutes. He's going to grab on and not let go.
Oh my god, you're a grown-ass woman. Deal with your problems.
She turns away from you and sort of just says, Rinny, let's go. I've had enough of this.
No, okay, no, you're not leaving. No, and Miix, like, steps forward.
Hey, no, Miix, no.
Kai, would you like to make a strength plus athletics to contest Miix's dex plus athletics?
Yeah. Strength athletics? Okay.
I got a 3.
3 successes for Miix's dex athletics.
Should I just make the DC 3?
Yeah.
Yep, your DC is 3.
You're...
Would you like to willpower?
Yes. Miix. Okay. Awesome.
You are able to grab Miix.
What the fuck are you doing? Hey, let me go.
I don't know. Not right now.
Not right now.
Causing
Not
a
right
scene
now?
doesn't get us. Causing a scene doesn't get us any information.
Okay.
I really don't know what I should. And like, you know, he's still holding Miix back a little bit, but like talking to Rinny firstly, I don't know what I should think about you at this point. I mean, I liked you back then. I don't know what exactly happened in its entirety between when we saw you in that alleyway and now, but I feel like even if it's not your problem, I feel like you should have some weight on your shoulders from the decisions that you're making. And you, and Kai's eyes narrow at Vienna, seem like an awful fucking sibling. Do not speak on the character of someone that you abandoned years ago. I don't care about if you think that he drags people down with him. You knew him as a child. You're his older sister, no? I mean, you clearly look it.
Rinny...
Here you go.
Oh, no, please continue if Kai has more to say.
I don't know exactly what you said to him back then, but he was a child. I don't know that you owe him an explanation because you don't seem like a very good person, but I don't think it would go over any better if we were the ones to tell him that his sister abandoned him and wants him to stay abandoned.
Vienna doesn't look back at you, but you can hear again that noise of the chains, and you can hear her say as she speaks, and she just goes, "You don't know, like I said, what he's like. You didn't have to raise him for 18 years.
I didn't.
But you can stick with him. You can stick with him until it's too late and you've gotten yourself trapped in a fire, and then you can't rip him away from you because it'll be too painful." And I will say, Miix, you can see that there are butterflies that have begun to cluster around Vienna.
Okay.
One of them has settled on her head. Another one is on her shoulder. There's a couple just fluttering around her general area.
Oh, you fucking bitch. You fucking...
And as she walks away, she kind of like looks toward Rennie. There's a unspoken sort of little conversation between them, and then Vienna just kind of sighs and says, "Do what you need to." And as she heads off, you see the butterflies start to dissipate from her the farther away she gets from the two of you. Rennie doesn't move closer to either of you, but she says, Is he here?"
Who? Oh, the guy you tried to kill? Guy you tried to murder?
I didn't
Yes.
realize the collateral it would cause, but yes, I did try to do that, and I don't regret doing that.
Oh, you're on my shit list too. Thanks, by the way, for almost getting us fucking killed.
Rennie kind of flinches at that and says, "I didn't..."
You what? You what? You what? Huh? Oh my god.
I just... I just needed to know if he was hunting me down.
Really? God,
Well, you're both here.
yeah, we're both here. Really, I considered you someone that I liked to some extent. I feel that Unless Pryor had a good reason to hunt you down, which frankly he does, but he isn't, I wouldn't be for it.
What do you mean
I just want
he
you to
does?
kn-
Do you not remember what he did?
Of course I
To
remember
me?
what...
To all of us?
He's not who he was before, but he isn't trying to hunt you down, is what I'm getting. You're not that important in the grand scheme of things, apparently. I don't know, I thought you would be a friend. And
To who? To you, Kai? Because I was a friend. Do you remember when he beat you unconscious? When he strung you up on a hook and you were bleeding out and I had to patch you up? Because I remember that. I remember what he did then. I remember how I tended to your wounds while he left you to die. He wouldn't have bothered to heal you if I hadn't patched you up. Do you remember all the bodies in the web strung up on the hooks of the people laughing because he laced those things up there and just had them dangling before selling them off to the chefs? Because I remember that also, Kai.
you were a victim. I was not. We aren't the same.
Both of us were. Everyone in that district was.
Okay, lady. In case you didn't remember, you doing what you did to Pryor didn't just almost get me killed, or Kai killed, or Merru killed. You killed. It was you. It was your fault. So many people in that place died. That blood is on your hands. You aren't innocent either.
She looks horrified and says, I know that was my fault and that I got all those people killed. I didn't realize he would refuse to die, but I should have, because he refuses to ever die, even at the cost of everyone else's lives.
Oh, okay, sure, but you're gonna throw the blame away from you. You know what? Maybe you and that other bitch are perfect for each other because you're both selfish assholes that don't give a damn about anybody else but yourselves. Right?
Rennie looks as if she's been struck at that. And she just kind of flinches and says,
You know what? At least Pryor doesn't pretend. At least he knows he's a bad person.
What? She just kind of blinks confused and is like, I'm not pretending anything?
You're doing a whole self-righteous thing. Oh, I didn't think he would die. I didn't think all that. All this. Acting like you're any better. Like you're justified.
Rennie just kind of sort of looks down and is just like, I'm going to stop him eventually. No more civilian casualties next time, like last time. And she just kind of heads off after Vienna, and is gone in a flash. Almost how though she vanished before you all, she moves like that into the crowd.
Miix had, like, as soon as she's gone, like, you can see that Miix had, like, placed a hand on Solomon. Like, she's just gone before they can even do anything. But as soon as both of them have disappeared, fuck! And Miix, like, kicks one of the rocks.
Is looking a bit downtrodden, and chewing at his lip, but not saying much. You know, it's been a while. Do you want to go back to the rendezvous point?
I don't give a fuck about whatever the Dr. Rennie person wanted. It's the other one that pisses me off. I don't know if you felt that too, but oh my god.
No, I'm sorry for telling you not to cause a scene.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I
do understand, even if I don't have whatever experience you're talking about, but closure is nice.
Yeah, and oh, sorry. It was hard. Life was hard in the city. Look, I know I'm the last fucking person to say that gets to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Tough shit.
Hey.
Tough fucking shit. We're gonna have to tell Merru. You know that, right?
Yep.
That's not gonna go well.
I don't know that it would have gone well the other way either, but yeah.
You think he'll honestly give up?
I don't know. Mary's always been an enigma, but I know that he's not the person that Vienna thinks that he is, so...
Yeah, well... I don't know if he will give up. Fucking Christ. Cool. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I lost my cool. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
You know...
God. Fuck. God damn it. Fuck.
You know... I can't speak on what's right and wrong, for a lot of this, because all of it's a bit gray, but, you know, I don't know if we are morally righteous over, or if I, at least, I don't want to speak for you, am morally righteous above either of the two of them. We just have what we're doing and they have what they are. I think you're right, though, that Merru is owed an explanation. So let's go try to give him some of that explanation.
He's not gonna like it. Regardless of what he does, he's not gonna like it. And I can't fucking blame him. I can't. Fuck. And Miix, like, reaches down into their coat pocket and grabs a cigarette, begins to light it. Do you want one?
No thank you.
Alright. Let's hold off on telling Merru until things calm down a bit. We need to tell him, but not yet.
Maybe we can owe him that explanation after. Not that I don't understand why you were as upset as you were, but I'm glad. Thanks for being a voice of reason.
It's the last thing I am. But I can try at least.
Hmm.
You help a lot, you know.
Thanks. Kai looks down at the ground and starts walking, looked for the neon whale, found it, and then just started looking at the floor with his footsteps on his way
Kai,
there.
what? Why? Hey, did I say something wrong? Wait,
Kai continues to walk.
Man. And yeah, Miix will follow after.
And you're able to make it back to where that neon whale was. And you find Prior and Merru as the four of you can meet up again.
Prior
Hey.
is marching like a big brother, and as he sees you, he slows his steps, and you literally see him shed it like a cloak off the ground as he begins to walk like himself again as he makes the last few steps.
You guys find anything?
A lot, actually.
Ooh.
Well, the good news is, I'm not being hunted by the middle, so we'll take the small wins where we can get them. The second, more important thing is the people with the information we need about Birgh are being held captive on a ring gallery ship. And he puts heavy quotations around the word gallery.
Oh.
Not sure what group of the ring they're from, but regardless, they're in port and we don't know for how long. And knowing the ring, I don't know how long they'll keep their captive subjects alive, which means we might want to move fast. And Prior will fill them in on everything they know about the ring ship, which is not much, but he will just quickly share that.
Well, that's more than what we got. We didn't really get a whole lot. Miix says as they take another drag of their cigarette.
Yeah, Kai scratches the back of his head. Sorry. I'm glad you two could find as much as you could. Mr. DM, I probably just like a question that doesn't really have an answer. I know you said that Kai got very little pieces of information just talking to people on the street because he has some influence because Precious has been around. Was there anything of note that that Prior and Merru wouldn't know? It's totally cool if not.
I would say there probably isn't. You know what? There's one detail. There's one little detail you would have got in. There have been a lot of balloons purchased as of late. You heard. And you heard that one of the bakeries, from one of the girls you met on the street, she mentioned that one of the bakeries was apparently making a really big cake, it sounded like.
So it would seem that there's a party being held soon. And we would know that it's for...
Oh, you don't know who it's for. You just know
Okay.
You just know when you were asking around about the middle and stuff, you've heard that they've been purchasing a lot of balloons as of late.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. Sorry. I should
No,
have
that's
clarified
okay.
there.
No, that's just fine. Okay. Well, there's gonna be a big party with the middle soon. But that's all I could gather. Sorry.
Yeah.
Glad you guys had more luck.
We were too busy enjoying ourselves out at the town.
I mean, that's fine. At least we
We
got
weren't
enough
actually.
information. So,
Yeah.
no worries there.
That's good. Well. Oh gosh. Well, what's next?
Yeah. Prior clears his throat. What's next is we have to board this gallery vessel as soon as possible. We're not going to have time to wait. Everything we could know could be lost if that ship leaves port without us.
Gotcha. Got a way for us to get on that boat? Got any ideas?
Well, it's the way I've been getting everywhere. Walking in and saying who I am is one way. But maybe, thanks to that mermaid, we might have enough on to buy ourselves a ticket.
That might be a good idea. Well, let's do it. We don't have time to waste after all.
Would you... Oh, sorry, did not mean to cut you off. I was going to ask, would you all like to buy a ticket for the art gallery?
Yeah, Prior will dip into what little on he has left.
Yeah.
The mermaid will help us.
We love living in poverty.
Okay, I don't know about we.
You all are able to get yourselves a ticket. Do you all decide to head right toward the art gallery ship?
Is there anything else that we might do?
I'm thinking for a second. I think, unfortunately, we just gotta go. I don't think I have anything left.
Well, if you all don't have any prep you want to do before.
Yep.
You know what? I think I'm gonna roll for some containment gifts, actually.
That might be a good idea.
I will make that. I'll make that science plus intelligence roll with my specialty. Oh, sorry, craft plus intelligence roll. And against difficulty 4. I'm gonna add desperation because what's our current desperation level?
Your current desperation, I think it had gone. Had it gone down to 2? I think it had gone down to 2. I believe.
I shall add that then. I'll spend a point willpower, so we might be able to get some gear for everyone.
All right.
Okay, so 2 pieces of gear. Prior is going to make. Prior is going to pull out these. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Prior pulls out these tiny pebbles that almost look like Miix's gift, but they are pitch black, like they've had all the power drained out of them. And as you hold them, you're filled with this sense of smallness and emptiness in the universe. And anyone holding one of these pebbles can add +2 to their stealth modifiers, because I have a feeling we're going to need that. So who are our least stealthiest folk?
Hang on.
I think Kai and Miix. Does Miix have any dots in stealth?
Let me see.
I have 1.
Miix has none.
Okay, yeah.
Has nada.
You can hand that over to Miix.
Hand it over.
Then Kai and Miix will both get one of these small little stones.
Oh, fantastic. Wahoo.
Cool. What does it do again?
Just a +2 bonus to your stealth.
Oh, nice.
And that's Prior's prep.
Okie dokie.
Absolutely. Does anyone else have any prep they'd like to do, or?
Nope.
I don't think so.
No.
So, all of you head on in to the art gallery. You all are able to board the boat. You see that it's an old-fashioned style ship. And it seems that the ship itself resembles almost T Corp style. And as you enter into the bowels of the boat, the room is darkened, obscured, deep shadows filling the room, save for the occasional lamp hung on the walls. The lit lamps cast light upon the exhibits beneath them. A spotlight down on the faces of the statues. It's hard to tell. Each one is frozen with varying expressions of horror and fear on their faces, their eyes wide, watering, and one almost seems to twitch. You can see the tattoos clearly on their faces, though the rest carved on their bodies look to be hidden in the shadows, the black ink blending in with the darkness. And you can see students of the ring walking around, milling about. There are some people there who look to be unaffiliated with the ring as well, admiring the exhibits almost. And toward the back of the gallery, you see these two people here. And if you'd like to give me a wits awareness, I can give you some additional information on them.
Can I give a support die to Merru?
Yes.
Can I also give a support die to Merru?
Absolutely.
Great.
What
Awesome.
was the DC again?
It would be a scaling DC. The higher you roll, the more you see.
All right, cool.
Can I not give a support die to Merru?
Yes, you may make your own wits awareness if you'd so choose.
No, I would love to. Well, actually, I don't think I have awareness. I think that was... Right, I don't, unfortunately.
So are you giving
I will-
Miix a die or no? I mean, sorry, are you
You
giving
can't-
Merru a die or no?
You can't
cannot,
give Merru
yeah.
a die without a dot in awareness, yeah.
Oh,
That
wait,
is
right. Sorry, I'm
true.
silly.
But Miix can roll and just crit.
That's
Just
true.
crit,
What if
just
Miix
crit.
Have we considered?
Like, I don't need to because Merru will crit
I'm the
for
most
us.
aware man.
He is the
Absolutely.
world's most aware. They are saying this.
Yes.
6 successes. Merru, you are able to see, I'll let you know with 6 successes, the person back here. I'll show them again. This woman has a glove over one hand that's black, and the other hand, the glove is white. And the hand with the black glove, you can see the free banded ring. And it seems to go, you can see like the brief glimpses under her sleeve of it going up her arm. And this one here also sticks out to you. You notice that they only have one hand with a glove, but there's another ring there, this one having 2 bands. And this person also has a necklace around their neck.
All right.
If you'd like to relay that information, I'll also give you a 6 successes. The statues, they are alive. You are able to tell that those are, well, you're not sure if their condition is reversible. But those were definitely once people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Merru, absolutely. He will quietly relay this information to the others.
Huh.
I'd expect nothing less from the ring. What a grisly, uniquely them depiction of the idea of art. Ugh. How many people come to see these galleries? Why do people come to see these galleries? What is it they hope to find here? Friar shakes his head out. The little siblings aren't going to be kept here. Merru, do you have any idea where they might be?
Mr. DM, would Merru have any idea?
While
Just
you're
from what he saw?
while you're looking around with your wits awareness, you see that this seems to be the main gallery room. You can see where the maestro and dockant are. There appears to be a corridor close to them, though you're not sure where it leads. And you can actually, with 6 successes, you can overhear their conversation if you'd like to listen in.
Absolutely.
All right. You hear, I imagine you probably will have to move a bit closer to actually hear it, but no one pays you all any mind as you have paid for the exhibits. You hear the dockant say, shall I go prepare the final exhibits for the gallery? And the maestro simply waves them away, and they kind of happily skip almost past her. And behind the curtain, to where you're not sure. But you have a feeling wherever they're keeping the final exhibits might be the same place.
All right. Well, I guess in that case, Merru will, after hearing that, will try to subtly nod in that direction and go, "They said something about final exhibits. Best guess is that whatever's that way can't be good, so probably where we need to go."
Friar nods his head. All right, everyone. This is a proper syndicate. One of the 5 fingers. This isn't like the beach, Merru. If a fight starts, it's gonna be bloody.
All right.
So let's not start anything that we can't finish.
Yep.
Naturally.
All right. Then let's be artists.
Right.
I think we're going to try... Well, actually, okay, before Prior tries, the worst possible solution, which is just sneaking in there. He's going to take a look around the area. What is there in the room leading up to the curtain? Are there lights? Are there, like, guards? What does he see?
The entire room is fairly darkened, aside from the occasional light, which seemed to be, like, basically hung right above where the statues, the art exhibits are. You can see that there is a bunch of people milling about in this gallery. It'd probably be easy to weave your way through the gallery itself. It might be a bit more of a challenge to actually make it back. Just because of the amount of people and the likelihood that they'll notice you going back there, especially with what you've recognized as a maestro being here.
Yeah.
You also would know, though, you don't know much, I imagine, about how the ring does things, being from a different finger, but you do know about how their bidding works and their auctions.
Prior considers his options. Yeah, he considers all of his options and says, there's two ways we can handle this. Either one, we can attempt to sneak our way back there. It's going to be difficult, and there's not a lot of cover. We could maybe try and cause a distraction, and then sneak in the ensuing chaos. The other option is I could leverage my status as a big brother. We could try and purchase an art piece for them. Go to pick it up, at which point we would have access. Though it does mean there's no way we're getting out without a fight. I guess there's no way we're getting out without a fight either way. But that's a way that we can leverage our ability to speak rather than our ability to fight or sneak. There's risks to either way.
Can we afford to purchase an art piece?
If they ask for payment in on, absolutely not. However, they're artists. They don't always ask for a payment in on.
Well, if we decide to do any sneaking, we probably should wait until after the and he sort of nods over at the other higher up of the ring, goes, until they won't be able to easily spot us, right? They're right there.
Actually, Prior does look. Does it look like this is where the maestro is spending their evening, or are they just sort of here looking about?
It looks like the maestro is, for the moment, looking about. You have a feeling that she will likely be the one heading the auction when it starts. But it looks like she's kind of, looking about, making her presence known. You had to, if you had to guess, you would imagine that she probably isn't going to be standing there the whole night or the whole day.
Yes. We might have to bid on a piece. I don't think there's a way we're going to be able to sneak past the ring without it. Maybe, if we're able to rescue the little siblings, we might be able to fight our way out. Especially because as soon as we get back to the shore... when the middle starts fighting in L Corp, other syndicates start to pop their heads out to join the fray.
Well,
Need to get to the little siblings.
right.
And I think that means we have to play by their rules.
Well, that's what you think is best. That's fine.
He looks to Kai and Miix and nods his head and says, unless either of you feel confident in your ability to sneak past an entire syndicate?
Nope.
No.
And we're gonna do this the hard way. Give me a moment, I'll have to make a entrance befitting a big brother of the middle then. Prior will actually kind of turn the corner out of the room, and you see him prepare to re-enter the room, perhaps a little less quietly.
Absolutely.
There's another crack of cartilage, or maybe, no, it couldn't be bone. And as he stretches his back out, he steps into the room with a footfall that sounds like a little bit of an echo in the quiet room. And as he spreads his arms out, he says, Maestro! I do apologize for coming in so late. I hope you don't mind if a big brother joins the auction, do you? I'd love to get my hands on your piece.
The maestro looks up at your entrance and smiles and says, well, the auction's just about to begin,
Excellent.
so you're just in time.
It's the most fun you can have with the ring outside of a finger bow bell, is it?
Indeed. I'm surprised a big brother joined us tonight.
Well, we are on the water, aren't we? I think that this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get something I couldn't get anywhere else.
She smiles at that, nods her head, and then says, well, why don't you take a seat? As you all see for a moment, all of the lamps in the room flicker off before turning on again as we prepare to begin the auction, and this session comes to a close.